Can you all hear me all right? Audio check. My mic sounds nice. Take one. My mic sounds nice. Take two. My mic sounds nice. Take three. Are you ready? I'm just waiting for the chat room. I know you can't see me right now. Just want to make sure you could hear it all right. Tweak the audio. All right. Let's do this. Let's do it.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony.
Number one. Number one. Shout out to Lee. Picked up on it right away. That was Salt and Pepper from back in the day. I wanted to do a little mic check. My sincere apologies to all of you yesterday that I had to endure a little bit of Shangada audio. Trying to tweak everything for my own audio-only family. Kind of screwed up the video-only family and vice versa. So I think we got a happy medium now. Thursday night. Yes, we will talk about Velveteen Dream. Being released from WWE today. I didn't tweet about it. And I think that pretty much, I'm just fixing the little chat over here. Okay, that looks a little better. I didn't tweet about it for the simple reason that it's been such a toxic topic forever. Everybody was clear with my stance on Velveteen Dream. I defended the guy. If we're going to go in 2020 or 2021 out of context and people calling this guy a pedophile because there's an audio clip of him asking someone, what school did you go to? You people have some massive fucking skeletons in your closet that you don't want anybody to get out. So, look, this is why you don't mingle. Even if you mean complete harmless and you're just chatting with fans, you don't. You're just asking for trouble. It makes me laugh. I usually don't bring this aspect up of social media, but I'm going to do it tonight. I don't give a shit. How many women do you see on social media, Twitter especially, that keep saying over and over again, I'm getting dick pics in my DM box. I'm getting instant messages with all this perverted stuff. And the funny thing about it is 9 times out of 10, when I go, just out of curiosity, to see if there is the selection where you could DM this person, DMs are off. So what is somebody hacking through, sending you a dick pic? 9 times out of 10, their DMs are off. So how do you get in DMs with dick pics? Nobody confronts them. We just let it be. Social media is disgusting. Like I said, there's a few people out there. When I see grown adults losing it on social media to the point where they want to literally, in real life, want to beat somebody up, or even worse, have a mental breakdown. My lights just went off. Motherfucker, you see that purple? Wait a minute, I'm like, something just... See, they were purple. They've always been purple, like Velveteen Dream. That's a sign. That's not a good... What about this yesterday? Talk about bad timing, and I'm sorry, Dream 101, for doing this. But last night, when we did Wednesday Night Don-O-Mite, and we finished the show, I got a super chat from Dream 101. And he wrote yesterday, he said the person that he was just dating broke up with him over a text message and was hoping that yesterday's show would cheer him up. And obviously he's a fan of Velveteen Dream. You got to feel a little bad for Dream 101. And Dream 101, if you happen to see this, any shirt, any fed, any podcast, any promotion, any wrestler, just send me an email, dontony@dontony.com. I want to send you a little something because not only did you lose your significant other yesterday, but today Velveteen Dream gets released. You know, one of your your favorites out there. So I do have a little sympathy. Yeah, Dream 101's not having a good week. But look, man, let's get this clear. There's a lot of people on social media that jumped on this let's shit on Velveteen Dream without any proof, and I will never forget it. I will never forget it. You know, there's an old saying, you never get a second chance at a first impression, and I'll never forget it, that when the accusation came out that Velveteen Dream sent nude pictures of himself to someone who was a minor, there was a few people that were in a chat room that day or a forum or whatever, and one of them that accused him actually was in a forum, and people seem to forget how to ruin an end's life or something like that. I mean, you know, that's kind of weird. But anyway, that night, they went on social media and said, you know, look, he could have been hacked. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Might not have been him. Velveteen Dream, 6 hours later, 8 hours later, says, no, it wasn't me. And guess what these people did? Liar! Liar! Liar, liar! Set your purple pants on fire. It was all bullshit, everyone. Everyone looking for a reason to cancel someone. And everybody joined the train. And let me make this clear, too. There's a lot of people out there could give a flying fuck about Velveteen Dream. They will tweet the Switzerland comments. They'll make the Switzerland post. Stay neutral. You know, not say anything when you have the risk of being reprimanded and canceled out and this and that. Once it calms down, you know, pussies. But here's the best part. There's a lot of people out there could give a flying you-know-what about Velveteen Dream. And they'll go out of their way today to say, guy didn't deserve this. Guy got, you know, just totally destroyed because of this, and that. And that's the tweet job. Instead of just bashing him, no, we'll just talk about him 2, 3, 4 times to get the other side of the coin and get the hand jobs. Since day one, I always felt that the guy did not do anything sexual. I still don't understand to this day why the people who accused him never gave it to a DA to pursue it. And even if they didn't want to give it to a DA, you know, this isn't a wrestling storyline that Vince McMahon could, you know, hang up on 911. Nothing was ever pursued. His phone, what do you think? WWE, when they said they were doing their internal investigation, and this was another thing that pissed me off early on. When WWE said they were doing their internal investigation, do you think they said, hey, Drake, you know, forget about the pedophile, you know, stuff. Come here, I got a job for you. Lisa, call up Lisa in accounting, or call somebody in legal department. What do you think? They did their own forensics? What do you think? They watched a YouTube video, how to break in and see the history? No, they sent it out to a private investigator. But that's not sexy enough for people out there. They sent it out to a investigator to see if this guy did make these texts and delete them. Tweet and delete, text and delete. They found nothing. That's why the guy still had a job. And people just yelled and yelled and yelled and yelled. And it's like pissing in wind. It's like pissing in the wind. So now the guy's let go and people feel accomplished. People feel accomplished. Accomplished of what? So me, I take pride that I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt since day one. And yes, my stance is very unpopular. I could have just called this guy pedophile number one. Number one. And I would have got 200 likes, 300 likes. Oh, DT, you're so spot on with this, that. Fuck that. What school did you go to? Convict him. I don't live in a world like that, man. I don't live in a world like that. The guy made a tremendous mistake. First of all, I don't believe he sent those photos. Why do you have these photos in the first place? I mean, over the years, you've had so many women, especially women, get their phones hacked. Sometimes it's leaked out from people who they dated in the past. Remember Seth Rollins? Felt bad for the guy, you know? But in this day and age, stop with taking pictures. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do it myself. You know, there's a little bit of flab still. But, you know, it's ridiculous, man. I hope the guy can really pick up on his career. I hope this is not something that just totally, you know, derails him. You know, and I don't put him in the same boat as Joey Ryan and others, but you know, wherever this guy goes to try to get work now, you're going to have these vultures hovering over to basically threaten the promotion, shit on the promoter, try to this, throw dirt on this, throw dirt on that. You know, this is why I will not give in to that stuff. It's disgusting. It's terrible. It's sad. And there's a lot of people out there with some very uncomfortable skeletons in their closet. My God, I don't think people understand the level of fraud in some people that a lot of us mutually like in wrestling, outside of wrestling, you know, mutual friend. You have no idea the level of fraud. But again, and I brought this up on a conversation not too long ago, you know, I'm not going to be the one. You know, I thought I was very intelligent when I found all that information about Perry Saturn. No selling bullets. And then I unfortunately went down a very dark hole where I got court records. A lot of people don't even know that story, you know, but I thought I was playing detective. I'm like, hey, I'll use my skip tracing skills, try to find out if Perry Saturn is alive. A lot of people don't even know that Perry Saturn was on Mass Maniac's show with me when he first revealed that he got shot multiple times trying to stop a rape. And then some things didn't seem to make, and I know someone, what was it, a U-shoot? There was a U-shoot with Perry Saturn. Somebody actually asked him, what do you think about Anthony de Blasio saying that you no-sold bullets? Well, first of all, he never knew me by my name. But the thing is, you start doing a little investigating and you start finding out that no hospital in where he lived treated him at any point for anything. Then you go down the rabbit hole and you get court records and then you find out about divorces and I made a huge mistake in doing that. Next thing I know, I have Perry Saturn's ex-wife sending me an email. Where is he? Where is he? I have a warrant. He owes this, he owes that. And I was like, wow, well, I just wanted to find out if he was alive. I came across as the biggest asshole online. The biggest asshole. And I said, I will never investigate like that ever again. And I still have the court records. I mean, I have them saved on a hard drive. Not that, you know, I'm a pack rat that I keep everything, but there was really no reason for me to ever delete it. But the thing is, on social media now, I mean, my God, if I'm petrified that if I out someone for being a fraud and that person, that drives them over the edge and they harm themselves, you know, it make the Perry Saturn stuff look like a walk in the park. I'm not going to be that person. So it's just, you got to sit there and you got to just accept it. I've accepted it, and that's why my social media footprint is almost non-existent. I'll plug the shows and I'll have a little interaction with all of you out there. But as far as major topics, sometimes I'll tweet something and I'll delete it a minute later because I'm saying to myself, DT, what are you doing? You're just doing what you complain, and I just delete it. If you notice, if you go on my Twitter, at Don Tony D, and just scroll down for like the last 6 months, you will find virtually no tweets about goofs or anything. I stopped. It just basically just a little bit of self-promotion, and that's it. So Velveteen Dream, you know, I hope he can recoup from this. Maybe he doesn't even want to be in wrestling anymore. But the guy was, no doubt, one of the top young talents and still has plenty of time to repair, but you know it's going to be a very, very difficult battle. Maybe not necessarily for him, but again, the heat that promotions are going to get, the heat that some of these places. And yeah, I have an idea of where he could go, but I would never dare say it publicly. Some of you in the back of your mind, you're like, DT, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a certain promotion out there that I think people would be very, very afraid to criticize for bringing him in. And trust me, it's not any of the big promotions like AEW or MLW. I think a lot of you could put two and two together. So I wish him well. I wish him well. And it's just really, really sad, but this was preventable too. There was no reason. I don't care how lonely you are and you're just socializing in it. I don't care. I don't care. If I do a live, chat with someone, even if I do voice, and then I end up, it gets late at night and there's only one person left in the chat room and it's one of you out there and you happen to be 15 years old and like, oh, I would love to be a wrestler. Or, what school did you go to? It's like, I wouldn't even dare be in a position like I get DMs sometimes from people who support the shows, and when I see that they're younger listeners, I usually just say thank you and that's it. I had a guy, Don Pony. Any of you remember Don Pony? Don Pony was a huge, I don't know if he still is, but it was a huge fan of my shows. He was like 12 years old. And he's like sending messages and this and that, and I'm pretty much no-selling it. He would sign up on Patreon and delete the Patreon and sign up again and delete it. And I'm saying to myself, like, what does this guy want me to do? Be his uncle? So, yeah, a lot of you remember Don Pony. Wasn't too long ago. Somebody mentioned that Massachusetts is opening up. What's the date again? You don't have to super chat, but what's the date again? Look, I'm telling you, everyone, this pandemic is almost over. It will linger for a couple of years. There's a lot of people out there that will not get vaccinated. And I brought this up back in February of last year, that 1/3 of our country doesn't get flu shots. You think they're going to be swayed? Some people will. Oh, Roger. Thank you. Roger, I will properly acknowledge you in a minute. Tonight, I want to prepare everyone. Yes, we're going to do a little contest. This one is going to be easy. I was lazy today. I basically got 3 hints. That's it, 3 hints. Someone will win this in 3 hints. And what I'll do is, since we did not give away last week the WWF magazine autographed by all 3 members of Too Cool, you can have that. If that doesn't float your boat, instead of doing the wheel tonight, how's about $100 Amazon e-gift card? How's about $100? So you got a choice, the magazine or $100 Amazon e-gift card. Someone will win later. It's a trivia. I will read you 1 or 2 hints, and I have an audio clip. And basically, it's who dat. It's who dat. No pictures, just 2 clues in an audio clip. Someone thinks hard enough, they will get it like this. Trust me. Oh, let me put the chat back on the screen. So, you heard the rumors that Las Vegas is the front runner for SummerSlam. New York, WWE, and I talked about this the other day, WWE is working out a deal to go back to Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden can go as high as 100% capacity, with fans if they're vaccinated. It really determines how WWE wants to handle this. You know, WWE may say, we don't want to alienate a whole group of our fans that don't believe in vaccines or don't want to be vaccinated. I get that. Then they may only be able to go 50% capacity. WWE is not going to just drop extra money simply because it's the right thing to do. If that's the case, they wouldn't release people and cite budget cuts. You know, see, a lot of people that don't understand, and I'm not defending WWE here, not defending WWE, but when we talked about the releases yesterday, and again, I'm sorry for early on saying Killian Dane, it was Alexander Wolf, the other guy. But when you see the guys who got released, and gals yesterday, and their reason they were given was budget cuts, you know, you get these very ignorant people online that say they're making record profits, and they're saying budget cuts. Any of you out there that pays bills and works hard and has responsibilities, you have had a budget. Let's say you take in $2,000 a month. And some people, and I've done it in the past also, you take a sheet of paper and you say, okay, $100 for electric, $100 for gas, phone, insurance, rent, mortgage, whatever you got, food. And after you deduct everything, you say, okay, we got $200 in the budget that we could have and go out and have fun or whatever. And if you blow that money too soon, you say, we don't have it in the budget for the rest of the month. Now, that's what credit cards are for. You know, we always go above our budget, obviously, but that's how budgets work. It's not, unless we're losing money, it's not a budget cut. No, WWE has a certain amount of money that they dedicate for wrestlers. They're not touring. They haven't toured in 17 months. You don't keep 50, 60 extra wrestlers because we're in COVID and it's the right thing to do. That's why they got record profits, and most of these people on social media have likes. Not trying to be an asshole about it, but that's just the facts. You don't see multimillionaires and billionaires other than Andrew Yang, maybe because it's, you know, politically gets attention to himself. You don't see people, successful business people, calling out WWE, how dare you do that? Because they know what the deal. What about the layoffs for ESPN? Some of the most popular commentators, I've been laid off. Budget cuts. It happens. We're in COVID. Don't keep extra people because it's the right thing to do. You know, if you're a small family business, not a publicly traded company, yeah, you try to work something out because you don't want your workers to be out of a job and go hungry. I get that. When you're a publicly traded company and you have investors, you have to answer to them. I mean, think of WCW in 2001. If it was a publicly traded company and all the investors were like, fuck this, they lost their TV deal, I'm selling my stock, and the stock is worth nothing, WCW would have still been in business if the stockholders would have said, you know, let's hold out because they might be able to get a TV deal somewhere else if they were a publicly traded company. So WWE being this big is because of investors putting money back in and putting money back in, and they want to see that you're doing it responsibly, not politically correct. I don't know anyone that's bought the WWE stock because I like them. I like them. Anyway. Little treat for you later. Unfortunately, no Captain Lenny tonight. Unfortunately, no yours truly Indy Wrestling stuff tonight. Last Friday, I played a 6-minute clip, New Jack, on the Masked Maniac show with Maniac and yours truly. Axl Rotten was on as well. I played about 6 minutes of it. Everybody laughed uncontrollably. Got so many emails and DMs. Dude, where can I hear the whole show? Where can I hear the whole show? Where can I hear the whole show? Then I said on Monday, let me play the clip again, because I know not everybody that tunes in Monday tunes in Friday. Some people just want to enjoy the show that Mish and I do together. They don't like my solo shows. I respect that. So I played it and Monday. And Monday, I got more feedback. Where can I hear the whole show? Where can I hear the whole show? So what I did was I asked all of you Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday on Patreon, Wednesday yesterday, how's about I play a chunk of the show today? And overwhelmingly, people are like, yeah, it's just funny. It's just, an element of New Jack that you might have enjoyed in a shoot interview with Honky Tonk Man and the Iron Sheik. That one especially. That's my favorite shoot of interview of all time. It's a train wreck, but I literally get headaches from laughing so much. But here is New Jack in that same element with just regular folk like yours truly, Masked Maniac, who's, more than just regular folk. And what I did was I took the 2.5-hour podcast that we did with him. I trimmed it down to 40 minutes. So later on, I'm going to stream those 40 minutes. I'll hang out with you, and I will laugh in the background. I promise you, you will laugh your ass off. And if it gets really good response to it, I have about 15 podcasts that I've done with New Jack. And some of them are controversial, the Chris Cash stuff and other stuff. But, I want to play the episode where he's telling me to post the Terry Reynolds pictures of her covered in blood. He's like, Anthony, you got to post those pictures. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get it. You're telling me no? And Masked Maniac provoking it and pushing it. So we'll do that a little bit later on. And yes, I understand there's some of you out there that really can't stand New Jack and, piss on his grave. I get it. But there's a lot of you out there, that do read between the lines and see a lot of the tributes out there. I mean, I read the one from D'Lo Brown today. D'Lo Brown has a history with New Jack going back to, USWA, I think it was, or Memphis. So we'll do that a little bit later. Plus, I don't know how much we really need to get into today as far as discussions go. But just to say one last thing about WWE with SummerSlam. Somebody wrote earlier that Massachusetts is reopening 100%. Here in New York, 2 days ago, they lifted the mask mandate for everybody who's vaccinated. Now, interesting thing. I almost recorded the video and was going to share it, maybe for channel members, because I don't want to make it public on YouTube. It just seems creepy. But I drove from my office to the bank today. And I purposely drove around stores and side streets, not scoping the people walking by, but just to see how many people were wearing masks. And I tell you, about 90% of them were wearing masks still. And the thing is that they've really put it in people's heads that even if you're vaccinated, you could still get sick, you could still do this, you could still do that. And people are just, their brains are like almost brainwashed with paranoia about this. And that's terrible. Then even more, I went to my dad's store today. And I went, bought something to drink. I had my mask on. And I looked around and there was a couple of people in the store without masks. Not the workers. All the workers had masks, but there was a couple of customers that did not have masks. So, thank you, Devin M. May 29th is when Boston lifts their mandate. But I asked my brother after, I said, how are you dealing? How are you handling the people that come in without masks? He says, I'm not going to say anything to them. And I said, okay, I think that's the right way to go. He says, I'm not going to ask anybody for proof that they're vaccinated, and I'm not going to insist that anybody put their mask on, because you think my brother or stores want to get into fights. I mean, you've seen some of these Karens, mostly Karens, that walk into like Costco or Home Depot or other stores, Target, over the last year and a half, and they get into these arguments. Didn't we just have that who's that child actor that I really don't give a shit about anymore? Who was the one? He was in The Champ, Ricky Schroeder, I think it was, and he showed up at like some department store, and he didn't have a mask on, and they wouldn't let him in, and he's arguing with them, and I'm saying to myself, why is he recording this? You're the douchebag. You're the douchebag. And me, I'm vaccinated. I don't want to wear a mask anymore. But the thing is, who wants to have confrontations with customers? You got a store, you just want to run your business. So now somebody walks in without a mask. What are you going to do? Sir, you need to put your mask on. No, I don't want to. I'm vaccinated. You want to have to deal with that every time? Hell no. Hell no. Why does Ted Turner keep saying he's 2 minutes behind? Tell him to reload the page. I think that will fix it. By the way, Chris Witt, Tony Kalanjian, Jay Brony and others, much love. King Ace as well. I know that they're checking out the show on other mediums. They're friends of the family. If you want to take part in the contest in a little bit, unfortunately, you're going to have to shoot over to YouTube, only because the chat room is on the screen. And, I'd like to be transparent about it. So you really have to be part of the same chat to participate in that. Now, I don't want to say I enjoy this. I really don't. There's rumors going around that Don Callis is no longer part of the executive division in Impact Wrestling, and Scott D'Amore is pretty much running the game. You must have heard me over the last month, especially the last month, saying, I hope Scott D'Amore turns it around. I hope Scott D'Amore turns it around. Hope Scott D'Amore turns it around. They lost their fucking identity. They lost their identity. How many times you heard me say that? And I'm going to give you Impact Wrestling's rating from last week. The rating that no one wants to tell you, because Kenny Omega won the heavyweight championship that first Thursday after he won the title. They blamed it, I think, on the NFL draft. Then the week before last, they blamed it on, I don't even know what else. I don't remember what the second week was. Anybody remember what the reason was last week? And, 2 weeks ago. And the rating was just as bad. So then last week, there's no draft. There's no Biden speech. There is tragedy in the Middle East, but there wasn't like live footage during Impact Wrestling that everybody's watching the Gaza Strip and fighting. So 3 weeks ago, Kenny Omega, his first Impact as heavyweight champion, they score 120,000 fans. And they blamed it on the NBA draft. Not NFL, NBA draft. The following week, okay, you can't blame it on the draft anymore. They did 123. Ooh, they went up 3,000. And something that I've been saying, mostly about AEW, you're watching it in real time. Understand something. Most of these people who do shows, write blogs, run websites, have huge Twitter followers, if they gave you the truth about these numbers and call out these people for the lack of ratings, number one, they'll get no interviews. Number two, you'll get a lot of people unfollow them. Number three, they would get very little attention. So if you notice, everybody runs with the same goddamn excuse. I will never forget. They blamed AEW's low rating on January 6th because of the news footage from the riots. And I showed you. Think I'm lying? Go back to that following week. I showed that following week the actual Showbuzz Daily grid of news broadcasts that aired January 6th, the week before January 6th, and the week after January 6th. And there was less news as far as during that 8 to 10 p.m. 2-hour block. There was actually less viewers during those news broadcasts. You actually looked at the numbers. It did not go along with what everybody was saying. But again, that's unpopular. These people online, that everything AEW is epic, amazing, unreal. if I died tomorrow, I would die happy because I'm an AEW fan. I'm an AEW fan too. I'm an NXT fan. I'm a fan of everything. I look at it as half full, not half empty. I look at everything that it could be better. But there is a class of people out there that will give you an excuse for everything. Everything is unbelievable. I love Christian Cage. I had on my wall for 9 months, Christian for the Hall of Fame. And then when he got let go from WWE, I'm like, oh, well, fuck that, right? And I took the picture down. And then he signed with AEW. I didn't put that picture there so people could say, oh, what a cool picture. The background is a reflection of things that I like. He goes to AEW, has one return match. Now, we saw him at the Royal Rumble, and he did an awesome job. I don't remember these people saying, oh, amazing, unbelievable. I have a tear in my eye after all those years and to see him in the Royal Rumble. No, but he has his first match in AEW. Oh, my God, to see it. He looks amazing. He's wrestling amazing. Outwork everyone. You betcha. I'm like, these people are the ones that are hurting AEW. They are hurting. And you know how you know the biggest whack jobs of them all? Even for other topics, when they write things, they have to hashtag what they're writing about, or they add it. They add it usually because they want that person to see the ass kissing that they're doing. And believe me when I tell you, I swear I will never do another show again. I will never do another show again. I have talked to enough people in wrestling who have said to me privately, yo, man, what's up with blah, 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 blah? This is on a weirdness level. They get creeped out with a little bit of the over-top weirdness. So these people will usually at the person because they want them to see it and they want the like. Now, look, if you're praising someone and you want that person to see it, it's a nice thing. And I say things about Mick Foley and others, I want them to know that, we see the good that he's doing this and that. I'm not saying that that's a negative thing, but when people use these over-the-top, excuses for everything. Everything is unbelievable, epic, amazing. I'm melting right now. What are you, the fucking witch from the Wizard of Oz? I'm melting. And then they hashtag or they at because they got to be noticed. When people do the hashtag for AEW Dynamite with the little cute belt after it, they want to be seen and recognized by millions of AEW fans. I feel the same way as you. Let's melt together. These are the people that are hurting this company. And it's now reflecting on Impact because Impact, for some reason, they thought of this idea, wow, let's have AEW invade our promotion because Global Farce Wrestling didn't suck enough. No, well, AEW is on an amazing trend. Look at their popularity. I mean, I know AEW could be a little controversial with fans, but look at their viewership. Even 900,000, that's 9 times what we get. 8 times, 7 times. Let's do something. So they run the dice, and guess what? All of these people that are like, oh my God, it's amazing, it's unbelievable, let's melt together, and if I die tomorrow, they're not interested in Impact Wrestling. They're not even interested to see their heavyweight champion, Kenny Omega, in Impact. All this Rich Swann stuff, I have nothing against Rich Swann, but I said it for 6 months. Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega, the first time that Kenny Omega showed up in Impact and Rich Swann couldn't get to the caravan, whatever that thing was, and he didn't show up on AEW Dynamite in storyline the following week to try to get at Kenny Omega, that storyline was screwed. That storyline was fucked because in 2021, everybody knows that wrestling is sports entertainment. So you got to go against the grain to make it really feel realistic. And when Impact wrestlers don't even give a shit perception to try to show up in Florida, and you can't do it on the cheap. Oh, security is guarded around the building in case anybody shows up. That's bullshit. People see right through that. People see right through when people are being lazy. And that's what it was. That storyline was screwed. It was screwed. So AEW this week scored 843,000 viewers. I don't do demos. You know that. But I do want to point out one thing. Since their debut, unopposed, permanently unopposed. They ran unopposed a couple of times over the last year and a half, but their first Wednesday unopposed. Between that Wednesday and, let's also be fair, Mike Tyson was on it, so there was additional eyes checking it out. You had some NXT viewers that were very curious, that didn't normally pay attention to AEW. They were checking it out. But since that debut, which is only, a month or so ago, their rating has dropped 33%, a third. Their demo that everybody talks about, their demo dropped 33%. That is huge. Now, for me, 843 is not a bad number. I said yesterday I expected the rating to go down because yesterday it felt like something was missing. I mean, the Acclaimed, we all enjoy the rap. Wasn't too long ago when they first debuted, and I said, man, I like it. It kind of old school, reminds me of Cena a little bit, and everybody's like, this is garbage. Tell me what's different. What's different? Because he teases Renee in oral sessions? Tell me what is different about how the Acclaim were rapping when they first started and now. No, they just see that everybody else is giving it high praise. So now all of a sudden it's an epic, unbelievable, amazing. Let's rap the Acclaimed while we melt together. Unfortunately, having the Acclaim versus Moxley and Kingston, although fun and everything, it's a very one-sided match. Hikaru Shida, everybody sees that her title reign, especially over the last 6 months, has been a joke. And you see a group of people online, Hikaru Shida, they're going to celebrate her next Friday on AEW. Well-deserved, amazing, epic, historic championship run. What the fuck are you talking about? These are the people that have put AEW so high on a pedestal. Oh, trust me, you want to know what Impact's rating is. I'll get to that in a minute. They put AEW so high on a pedestal. So now what's the excuse yesterday? Oh, the Lakers were on. 5 million viewers. The Lakers were on. Wait a minute. The NBA draft had 11 million viewers. So why is it that more people watched AEW during the NBA draft with twice as many viewers than yesterday with 5.5 million or 6 million? You see, it makes no sense. Every week, there's another excuse. Every week, there is an excuse. The excuse is one thing and one thing only. I've been doing this stuff since 1997, and I swear to you, there's some of you out there who have gone back with me very close to that time, and you know I've been saying the same phrase since 1997, and that is, if your ratings are low, it's because people that are wrestling fans chose to watch or do something else than watch you live. All right? That's the bottom line. You know it was amazing when Showbuzz Daily went down last Friday. Showbuzz Daily went down. They're still having major problems because of it. What was amazing about it is if you go on their Twitter feed, the majority of the people asking for ratings are wrestling fans. We've always been into the ratings. I loved covering Raw and Nitro head-to-head back in the day. I sadly, it was bittersweet, but I loved calling ECW's ratings. But unfortunately, it hovered only around the 1 million mark, 1.1 million, and that was not good enough. But these people have this obsession to blame everything else. And you don't see entertainment companies, you don't see sports, you don't see any other programming out there saying, wow, you know that wrestling, they took a bite out of our rating. That wrestling that was on Tuesday or Wednesday or Monday or Friday, that wrestling, I don't know who I'm impersonating. You don't ever see anybody else make that excuse. But for wrestling, there's always, and that's an insecurity. That is an insecurity. I feel AEW, and we've been saying all along, I thought their average was going to be between 8 and 900,000 viewers. Any of you remember that 6 weeks ago? I said between 8 and 900,000 viewers. What was going to happen is you had 700,000 core AEW fans that have to watch it live. 700,000 fans. Then you would have another 100 to 200,000 fans that are either NXT fans or they like both products and they may channel surf. If something is not as great in NXT, they will turn over to AEW and turn back and forth and back and forth. And then when they ran unopposed, you advertise Tyson. It's the first show. You never get a second chance at the first impression. AEW blew it out of the water, and that's a compliment. Their first week unopposed, they did 1.3 million viewers, around that. And my prediction was this close of being spot on. Everybody else was like, oh, my God, look at the number. Oh, my God, 1.3. And now everybody's saying, oh, they 1.1, 1.2, 1.1. No. You're going to get peaks and valleys. There's going to be weeks that, and trust me, going to TBS is probably the best thing that could have happened to AEW, and I'll tell you why. It is obvious. It's obvious that they are giving a lot of pay-per-view quality matches and a lot of hype on free TV that should be going in the pay-per-view department because they want to appease TNT. They want to appease the network because of the $155 million deal. If they get dropped from there, we don't know what kind of deal they'll get somewhere else. For an upstart company to get that kind of money, oh my God. That I don't blame if Tony Khan said that night, epic, amazing, let's melt. That was awesome. It really was. But you could see the obvious pressure. And we've talked about it before when that rumor came out that, the network doesn't really want surprises because if they tell it in advance, then fans will tune in. They don't want them to find out after the fact. And Tony Khan raced to go on Busted Open or wherever it was to clear that up. How many times you ever see Vince McMahon clearing up bullshit rumors online? How many times you really see Tony Khan always online? It's very rare. But when it was something very sensitive like that with the network, you don't want to put that thought in people's heads. He literally, if he just woke up from a deep sleep to go take his midnight leak and saw that online, if he could have done Busted Open at midnight and held it in and said it's not true, he would have done that. So going to TBS, they can relax a little bit with giving these pay-per-view, these ultimatums. There's only so many times. Remember last year with the Inner Circle? Jericho called himself the demo god, and he deserved it because they were generating the highest numbers. Then what did they start doing? They started doing these teasers on TV as grabs to get you the next week. Oh, the Inner Circle, the confrontation, we might split up. We got to iron this out. And then we're better than ever. And every week there was some twist. And come on, man. That's not even equatable to a fucked up relationship. We're better than ever. A week later, we might split. A week after that, we got to get it out of our system. A week after that, we're partying in Vegas. They had to do these over-the-top things, and you see it leaks over the pay-per-view. Stadium Stampede 2 was enough. That's it. You sold us. The first one was awesome. Stadium Stampede 2, that's like going on a first date. You have an amazing first date, and all you did was just sit in the car and talk. Not even kiss. Had an amazing date. So if you found out through your friend, hey, she wants to hang out with you again, you don't have to hype it up. Hey, she wants to hang out with you again. And if you play your cards right, you might get laid. You might kiss. No, if it was a great night the first time, all you got to do is say, oh, I don't need, she wants to talk on the phone. That's fine with me. They have to add this stipulation. If the Inner Circle loses, they must split up. Now, unless they're really looking to split them up, you do this match next week and Inner Circle wins, little things like that pisses off fans. because they're saying to themselves, stop with these over-the-top stipulations that we know what the outcome is going to be. They did that with Matt Hardy, and they shot themselves in the foot. So this is different because obviously it's cinematic, but these fans, there's nothing wrong with bragging about a company that you like. There is nothing wrong bragging when the numbers look really, really good, but be realistic about it. You know, there's some people, without naming names on social media, that are narcissists. Yes, I'm into that term now because one of our viewers pointed out to me last week about a few people, and I looked up the definition. Whenever I thought of narcissist, I always thought of Lex Luger, posing. But then you take a step back and you realize that there's some people out there that have such horrible insecurity that they have to create a fake life about themselves that people fall for. Now you got to live that fake life, and you don't reveal anything about yourself privately, because the minute you do, it's exposed. The truth gets exposed. And when you have people out there that are buying into it and buying into it and feeding into it and feeding into it, that doesn't help the person, because now the person thinks that they're truly living the fake life that they created. I had a wonderful conversation with Lee privately about a few people in the past. Not anybody that you all know, but you could see it clear as day. They actually start believing all of this hype that they're getting. Meanwhile, it's all based on lies. You have these over-the-top people, with AEW especially, and they're convincing. So it feels good. You don't think, look, we're in this millennial generation now, millennials and everything, and a lot of people have the stereotype like everybody needs a trophy. This person needs hot chocolate. This person needs a safe space. If this person offends you, even remotely, cancel culture comes to bat for you. So a lot of these people, although successful, are very, very fragile. Fragile. Look at how they're getting triggered over the Young Bucks. I never was a big fan of the Young Bucks until now, because I'm saying to myself, wow, they're getting under people's skin so bad. This is not the Young Bucks. This is not the people who they changed my life. This is not even comparable to Bret Hart, 1997, Wrestling with Shadows. Remember when they interviewed that woman that was like, oh, Bret, I'm going to school now. He changed my life. Devastated. It's fucking entertainment, not jobs. So, oh, my God. My God. I know I'm going off topic over here. The bottom line is these people that are trying to put a pillow anytime something goes down, they're not comforting these people. They're giving them a false sense of security. Look at this number. 843 for AEW is not a bad number. It's not a bad number. But when people, these outspoken, very loud people who do get the hand jobs from people within AEW, when they hype it as epic, amazing, unbelievable, incredible, oh my God, and then things start going to reality. I mean, all the people that they invested their time and energy with, now it's like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Why are we down 33%? Everything we've been doing is epic, unbelievable. Look at all these people melting online. What's going on? So what do? Oh, it was the football. It was the draft. It was Biden. It was this. It was that. It was a shooting. It was this. Somebody farted. There's always an excuse, because they can't just sit there and accept the fact that maybe Hikaru Shida, her title run sucked. Or maybe not for nothing, but people are not interested in seeing who that. And maybe, although he's got an unbelievable look, that maybe a go-go, maybe he's got to kind of like back it up in the ring and not just uppercut someone and they chew on a blood capsule. Maybe that's not the alternative that a lot of people wanted. Oh my God, Jade Cargill open challenge next week. Who the fuck do you think's going to answer? It's going to be Lisa Smith. I don't know if there's a Lisa Smith in wrestling, but it's going to be the most generic person probably out there. And like, oh, this is the hype that no. not for nothing against Matt Sydal. Eliminate a match. If Matt Sydal beats Kenny Omega, he gets a title shot. I don't know anybody that ever cared. Who the fuck cares about that? Joey Janela. I love watching Joey Janela. I am a fan of Joey Janela, but I'm also realistic. Joey Janela versus Kenny Omega. If he wins, he gets a future title shot. I don't want that. You know, they're hyping it up like, oh my God, he might get a title shot. And they don't stop to say, but wait a minute. Him? That's the problem. Hook from Green Hook, New York. I'm watching him like low blow Matt Sydal yesterday and doing a move. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, if I would have gotten dropped on my head if it was just an indie group. And I don't care whose son I am. I did go to school with someone by the name of Lisa Smith as well. So anyway, before I tell you the Impact Wrestling rating, I'd like to catch up on a couple of super chats because these kind people sat patiently and let me sweat and rant a little bit. I didn't even tell you Impact Wrestling's rating yet. What school do you go to? The old name returns. What are my thoughts on Davey Richards going to MLW? MLW is now going to be airing on Vice. It might have already started. MLW, honestly, I think is doing the best job right now amongst all of these much smaller promotions. Just because everybody knows who MLW is doesn't mean that they're the number 3 or number 4 promotion out there. Ring of Honor, with all due respect, has handled COVID probably as second worst to NWA. NWA, I have to hand it to them. The last month, they've done a decent job making everybody pay, to see everything. They don't have the NWA TNA roster of 2002. So, those buys are a lot smaller than you think. But with COVID with COVID leaving and fans returning, NWA, I believe, will start airing some of their programming for nothing. That's when you see them up in a notch and with the pay-per-views. Impact Wrestling, I mean, like I said, they lost their identity. And every 2 weeks, there's like a pay-per-view. I mean, every time you fart, you look over and like, oh, here's the lineup for Friday. What? They just had a pay-per-view last week. Here's the lineup for Saturday. What? Like, everything's a pay-per-view. I mean, they screwed up their identity so bad. And on paper, figuratively, on paper, I understand the idea of doing the stuff with AEW. But as far as MLW goes, and then I'll tell you the Impact rating, MLW is taking their time, no pressure, no rushing. They didn't get the $20 million deal with Vice. They're getting an opportunity. And they are going to take that opportunity and maximize it as much as they can. Bringing Davey Richards in that company is a very good thing for MLW. I really like how MLW is handling things right now. Now, the problem is, other than WWE and UFC and AEW, everybody is scrambling for the scraps. It's like you have 2 giant restaurants in a neighborhood, and then you basically, at the end of the night, when they cooked some of this food and they couldn't give it to people, or they had, dish it, they throw it out in the garbage and everybody races to get the scraps. That's what the pay-per-view buy rates are right now for MLW and Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling to a big extent, and even NWA. Instead of them having their own restaurant and having their customers come in, they're basically trying to get the scraps of everybody else who maybe didn't buy WWE Peacock or AEW's pay-per-view. MLW is taking it slow, and I like what they're doing right now. Roger Rubio, thank you again, my friend. Much love. Tomorrow's Friday. I usually only have bulletproof coffee on Friday. During the week. So Saturday, I will definitely be going out for some breakfast. And I'm not kidding. I may even take a picture of myself having like a nice, egg sandwich. No bread, but as a thank you. Thank you for that, my friend. Much love as always. Put a smile on my face. Herbert Doherty. I will always nail it. WWE is an employer, not an employment agency. And I understand the controversy about independent contractors. But until the courts rule otherwise, WWE is going to continue doing what they're doing. When Andrew Yang made his comments when Zelina Vega got released, when Gabrielle Cartieres made her comments when Zelina Vega got released, there was one of two directions you could go with on this story. You could go on social media and tweet, it's about time wrestlers have a union. They're not independent contractors. And you get 1,000 likes for it. And you wake up the next morning, and it's the equivalent that, you had a wet dream. You look online, oh my God, everybody likes what I said. Or you could be realistic about it and say, Gabriela Cartieres is an ambulance chaser. She used Zelina Vega. I don't care if they talked about makeup. I don't care if they talked about outfits. I don't care if they talked about 90210. I don't care if they talked about wrestling unions. At the end of the day, Gabriela Cartieres had squat because wrestlers know that if they try to form a union, a lot of promotions will say, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere near those people. And they will have nothing. So everybody, who are the other wrestlers that ran to Gabriela Cartieres? Maybe if she offered a concussion lawsuit, maybe she'd get a whole bunch of people to contact her. She was a fraud. Andrew Yang, I truly believe in his heart that he meant well. This motherfucker was not going to go on his own dime to try to resolve all this. Did Andrew Yang ever post there? Because look, he's trying to run for mayor in my neck of the woods, which ain't going to happen, but he's trying to run for mayor. Okay, he's busy. Did you ever see him post online, hey, wrestlers out there, I really can't help you right now because I'm trying to run for mayor, but you know what? Here's my card. Here's a card for so-and-so that can. Did he ever offer someone else's services or recommend other people out there to help all these wrestlers that think they deserve? No, they tweeted. And they got all these people and their strings. You had everybody interviewing Andrew Yang. What do you think of this? Oh, what are unions? What is it? Did you like going there and going? How cool? What is it? And at the end of the day, you know what Andrew Yang did? Wow, look at all the publicity I'm getting. I'm not doing shit for wrestling, but I'm getting publicity out of it. He's a fucking politician. But what I say is not popular. So do you be straight with everybody out there and say the unpopular thing? Or do you just go along with everyone else? Like I said, the Velveteen Dream thing, people are cute. There's a lot of people out there that hate the man. I understand why. Hate the man, tweeted happiness when he got released. Then you have other people out there that don't hate the man, don't care about the man, but hey, I want some of that tweet loving. So I'll just tweet like, well, he, kind of did it to himself and, I'm kind of neutral about it. If you're fucking neutral about it, then you don't say anything. I didn't tweet about it. Right? So I try to be straight up with everyone, common sense. Usually, at the end of the day, kind of makes sense, although unpopular at times. What school do you go to? What's the excuse for AEW and Impact if they get their ratings go lower next week? Everyone for traveling early for Memorial Day weekend? Well, you know what? Next Friday is AEW's next show. I expect that rating to be a little bit lower, but it would not surprise me if they do a decent number because if AEW is smart, if they were smart, Tony Khan should be buying ad time during SmackDown. Contact Fox. I want to buy some airtime. I will tell you, here in New York, Jack Sabbath, if any of you out there still talk to the man, please send my regards. Jack Sabbath is a good guy at the end of the day. I had some interesting interaction with him over the years. But I will never forget to this day that back in the early 2000s, while I was watching Monday Night Raw, I see these commercials pop up for the Wrestling Universe store. It's his collectible store. And he's body slamming people through tables and this and that. And I'm like, holy shit, that was amazing. That was awesome. It was awesome. Something you always remember. Tony Khan needs to buy ads during SmackDown. Fans, when you're done over here, immediately after, head on over to TNT for AEW Dynamite, a special Friday Night Dynamite. Do it. Try to do it. If you're unsuccessful and Fox does not want to buy your airtime, go on social media. Guys, we wanted to advertise on Friday, let everyone know about, the time thing, but unfortunately some networks wouldn't allow us. Kind of reminds you of TNA and Cookiegate that time. All right? That's what I would do. Sam, am I still doing a 10:05 p.m. time slot next week? That is a very good question. I don't know. I mean, I could have AEW going in the background, and I could do a regular show and do a little bit of a watch along as we're doing a regular show, with the recap. And, you know what? Boy, this is kind of tough. I mean, not everybody that tunes in to SmackDown wants to watch AEW. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put up one thing that a lot of you have been asking me to do is to use the community section here on YouTube, because it's not just for channel members. And I think every single post I've made so far, I've always put it for a channel member. So I'm going to put up a poll in the community section tomorrow. And anybody that subscribe, I would love for you to take part in the poll. And I'll put up a couple of options and majority rules. If you still want me to do one 10:05 p.m., I will. And like I said, I could, have it playing in the background. And as we're doing the regular show, we could talk about, whatever's going down at the same time. It is the go-home show before Double or Nothing. Or I could do the regular Friday and then Saturday do a special, episode just covering Dynamite and predictions. So that's something we could do also. So, yeah, I'm going to post a poll. So I will let you all vote, and whatever you want me to do, we'll do. Now, Impact Wrestling's rating. Again, now I know why people out there seem to suddenly have, no connections. They don't want Showbuzz Daily to post a rating. 3 weeks ago, Kenny Omega won the Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and the rating went down to 120,000 viewers. If you might remember, somebody with a great question asked me, what was Tessa Blanchard's average rating while she was the champion? And for the Impact episode that aired while she was champion, I think her average rating was 167,000 viewers. Not a bad number, 167. So 3 weeks ago, Kenny Omega on Impact as the champion now scored 120. They made excuses for the low rating. The following week, he was on for the second time. They scored 123. Pathetic number, people making excuses. Last week's Impact Wrestling rating with no excuses, and Kenny Omega still champion and now doing this storyline with number one contenders and everything else, did 111,000 viewers. That is horrendous. That is awful. And I'm very interested. I like Don Callis. I have no complaints about Don Callis. But I'm trying to find out if Don Callis's, removal as far as in the executive division positions in Impact, I don't know if that's even true. I'm trying to get the answers. But if it is true, I'm trying to find out if it was because of this AEW storyline or if that had a part to do with it. Because when they did Wrestle House, it was very, very corny and stupid. But they still had an identity about themselves. And I know a lot of people still don't understand what I mean when I say identity. You just know. when someone has an identity. Lucha Underground had a unique identity. ECW had a unique identity. Ring of Honor early on had a unique identity. Wrestling Society X had a very unique identity. Impact Wrestling with the X Division and some of the other things they were doing, the psychedelic stuff with Sinister Minister and Rosemary and, some of the other things. They had a different identity, but still, it was unique. Now, they can't even get AEW fans to watch their own heavyweight champion go into a different promotion and fucking with the Impact. If my local homeboy became a heavyweight champion for a promotion, and they did a storyline where my homeboy showed up in another promotion and was fucking around with the people and causing chaos in storyline, I'd be glued watching to it every week. They can't get... And people ask me all the time, what do you think Impact's rating would be if the AEW invasion never happened? I don't know. I don't know if it would be more. But one thing that I have researched is that, and this is something you could see it for yourself, simple Google search, you'll get the answer like this. Look at Impact Wrestling's rating before Kenny Omega invaded, before Tony Khan did those commercials. There was no downhill fall where Impact Wrestling was scrambling like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, I have an idea. Let's try to do something with AEW. Maybe we could do. There was no big, steep decline that they needed to act. Their numbers now are worse than before Kenny Omega and AEW showed up. What's the excuse? That's why, like I say, you look at all these blue check marks, you look at all of these podcasters, bloggers that are very friendly to wrestling promotions. They will never, ever get into the rants like I do, because these promotions or the people within them that they have contacts with, they'll send them a DM. The fuck was that all about? What was that about? You want it, and you do that? What was that about? They'll never do it. They'll never do it. There'll always be a blame. There's always going to be an excuse with them. So, Harris, as far as numbers, Facebook is a little screwy with their numbers. So that's the reason why. Want to give a special shout out also. I think we have a long timer here. Harris B. When I started my hotline in 1997, how did I promote it and grow the audience? And also, who were the biggest hotlines at the time? Well, very easy answer. There was a wrestling hotline called the Wrestling Hot Seat, hosted by Dominic Valente. He's still around to this day. I don't know his number. I haven't called it in years. I hope he's okay. He was doing a wrestling hotline back at that time. I was a loyal caller of. I was going through some really dark times because of my car accident. I would always call his lineup. I would leave messages, give my thoughts about wrestling, and he would acknowledge me, answer me, and then he brought me on as a guest once or twice. And then somebody had said, why don't you do your own hotline? Just give your opinions. And I had no connections or anything like that. I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I was just very, very down and, just everything sucked at that time physically. So I started the hotline, and Dominic plugged it a few times, and just word of mouth. People start. That's why that infamous Blackhearts intro that I have, I probably could play it on here, and I don't think I would get flagged copyright-wise. But when you hear, like, Rob Van Dam, the SATs, and others, and especially like the SATs and Amazing Red, which I know a lot of you know who he is, what he's doing now, and they're cutting a promo for our hotline, and like, wait a minute, I heard about you guys, and they're actually reading our hotline. You hear it, and we kept it in the intro. I was like, wow, that was pretty awesome. Everybody tuned in at that time. We had wrestlers that would come out wearing our shirts to the ring. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels were some of our biggest supporters. And that's how I ended up bringing Kevin aboard. I was doing hotlines and some podcasts for almost 10 years. Everybody always thinks, oh, DTKC, long time. I said, no, I was doing it 10 years before I brought anybody else other than like Matt Zombie, Brian Damage, and others. But he was a caller, and he would leave messages, and I would acknowledge his calls like others. And, once in a while, we brought him on when I was doing stuff with Joey 924 and Black Moses and a couple others. And that's how that started, But just word of mouth. And then, it was pretty wild in 2000 getting a voicemail message from a certain someone in ECW. I won't mention his name. But, he leaves me a message and he's like, could you give us a call? And I thought, what did I do wrong? And I called them up and they're like, would you like to do some work with us? The original ECW. I'm like, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? And I was pushing tickets through ECW, through my hotline. And I was selling a lot of tickets for the local shows. And then, unfortunately, he went out of business. And then XPW was going to run on the Northeast. They had Shane Douglas as their champion. And Shane Douglas, heard about, the stuff that I was doing in ECW, and I had a big hotline. And he got in touch with me. And he's like, like for you to, promote the shows and this, and that. And then, the first XPW show in the Northeast, a third of the people in the audience were from my buses. I ran bus trips. I had about 300 people come from New York for the first XPW show. And, somebody had a big sign plug in my hotline if you go watch the first Hostile Takeover. But what was awesome, too, was I'm sitting front row with Mongo, God rest his soul. We talked about him last year. He unfortunately passed away. And Mike is sitting front row, and he was the agent for Halloween 666 and Damien. I always called him Mongo. And he did the Lucha magazines. He sold all the Lucha masks at the stores. And I'm sitting next to him, and the guy from XPW is like, you want to do timekeeping? And I guess that was like my reward for getting so many people there. I didn't expect this. Was 5 minutes before the show starts. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. They're like, here, put this on. They give me an XPW shirt that is not my size. And if you ever watch Hostile Takeover and you see, especially, I showed the clips here not too long ago, Supreme versus Angel, and the dust from the bulbs are going in my face, and you see me like this. I didn't know how to react. And that's how I got the job there. And just the hotline just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then in 2003, I thought of the idea of putting the hotline on the net. So this way everybody could hear it instead of just having to call a phone number, because still back then you paid toll charges to call the hotline. The hotline was free, but if you called the New York number, you had to pay long distance. So that's how it all started. That's how it all started. That's the God honest truth. Tyree Jones, almost forgot about Edge. What would I plan for him when he returns? Wow. I wanted to see Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I don't know what's going on with Daniel Bryan in negotiations. It's very, very hush-hush right now. I think he'll be back. I truly believe that. I personally think if he comes back, maybe you wait till the draft, because he's not on SmackDown anymore. I think that would be pretty cool if they did the draft and then they announce that Raw gets Daniel Bryan. And people will be like, oh my God, Daniel Bryan. But the problem is, Edge is not a SmackDown star. Well, actually, no, because didn't Edge feud with Randy Orton? So no, Edge, I would think, is a Raw star. Isn't Edge considered part of the Raw roster? I mean, it's got to be, because Edge won the Royal Rumble, and he challenged Roman Reigns, and then they made it a three-way. So that's why Edge was appearing on SmackDown, because he was going for Roman Reigns' title. So Lee says Edge is a free agent. Okay, If they go to free agent route, you could put Edge on Raw, and you could also put Daniel Bryan on Raw. I want to see Edge and Daniel Bryan have a little feud. I don't know if I want to see Edge come back and try to feud with Roman Reigns one-on-one, since the Daniel Bryan stuff kind of always made it a three-way. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. No, Mike from New York, I agree also. I would love to see Daniel Bryan in NXT. I think that is one of WWE's biggest mistakes about NXT right now. For me, ECW had Terry Funk. For me, AEW had Chris Jericho. Still has Chris Jericho. Some promotions, especially when it's the stars of tomorrow or the stars on the rise, having a veteran, trying to regain, regain their glory. I think that works tremendously. And that is something that I think NXT needs more than anything else. Not cameos from Ted DiBiase, but they need one or two wrestlers that are either past their prime, not too much, but could still go, or the perception is that they're getting past their prime. And you have them go to NXT for an extended stay to try to regain that. I think that is something that if NXT would do it, I think it would work wonders for the perception, the roster, some matches that you would never think you would expect. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. So we'll see. We'll see. But look, we haven't heard anything about the draft. I think you may in the very near future, and then we'll see what's going on. Nice analogy, what's going on. He's hanging out over on Periscope. Yeah, I know I don't ever promote Periscope. I stopped the Twitch stuff. I realized the Twitch stuff, unless I got beautiful boobies or I'm gaming, Twitch is not the place to be pushing this stuff. I thought about it. Somebody told me, hey, DT, do a show one night and only air it on Twitch. You'll get a whole bunch of people. But you know what? I don't want people to go out of their norm simply because I want to stream it there. I don't need it that bad, So, Austin, what's going on? Lee, no, Dark Side of the Ring never contacted me about the XPW stuff. Now, I did talk to someone who is featured on there, and he filled me in on a lot of what was discussed. And to be honest with you, we don't know exactly what they're going to focus on. But my perception on what was told to me so far is that they are focusing more about the shit that happened in California, the New Jack Vic Grimes thing, XPW stars. They're going to talk about XPW showing up at the ECW pay-per-view and having that brawl. They're going to talk about... what's his name? Oh, my God. Shit. I'm sorry for drawing a blank. Who's the guy who had his fingers chopped off? Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. It's a little late over here. I had a pretty crazy week work-wise. Someone in the chat bailed me out. Who was it again that got his fingers cut off? Oh, shit. I feel so bad because I actually watched a lot of it. Messiah. Thank you, the Messiah. Totally forgot. They're going to talk about the Messiah getting his fingers cut off, and the perception is that Rob Black had people, do that to him because of, the rumors that he was, might have been involved with Lizzie Borden. They're going to talk about the FBI stuff. I don't know how much they're going to talk about Philly, and Philly, like I said, it was fucked up because, Bill Apter, it made me feel so good, man. Mish, if you all think I'm lying, Mish was right there to witness it. When XPW came to the Northeast, and everybody was trying to shut them down. Ring of Honor, Combat Zone Wrestling, OneWrestling.com, which, now it's Bill Apter. At the time, it was other people as well. Bob McGee, PWBTS, that asshole. Everybody's trying to shut it down, putting pamphlets in people's doors, porn is coming to your neighborhood, calling the State Athletic Commission, claiming that when Angel and Supreme went in the women's bathroom, that the daughter of the State Athletic Commission executive was in one of the stalls, which was a lie. Yes, Terry Funk pulled off Lizzie Borden's panties. Yes, that was true. But they had an emergency meeting with the State Athletic Commission. And in the empty ECW arena was Shane Douglas, Rob Black, Bill Apter, myself, Slash, and I always forget his name. They used to make the custom wrestling belts. There were like 6, 7 people there. And Bill Apter offered to go to the State Athletic Commission meeting and offered to talk to Ring of Honor and Combat Zone Wrestling to try to smooth things out. He was not an employee of XPW. He just taking pictures. But Bill Apter tried to smooth things out so much. And when we went to the big event last year, right before COVID shut everything down, Bill Apter was there with Mish and a few others. And I went up to him and I said, hello. And he knew who I was, I guess, because he sees my mug online all the time. And I said, I never forget that time, XPW. And immediately Bill Apter says, yeah, how crazy was that with the State Athletic Commission? I looked at Mish. And then Mish and I went for coffee after that, and Mish is like, that's incredible. He remembered everything about that day, and I was there and everything else. And that was unreal. But I don't know if it's sexy enough for Dark Side of the Ring. So I don't think they're going to focus that much on Philly. Like, they will mention it. But a lot of the people trying to shut it down, they're not going to mention Boogaloo and Lowrider. They're not going to mention what Ring of Honor tried to strong arm. They're not going to mention shit like that. They're going to focus on the Messiah. They're going to focus on the FBI stuff. They're going to focus on adult stars being in that company. That's what they're going to focus on. So once I was filled in as far as what they were doing, then I said, okay, now I understand why nobody contacted me. And besides, who the hell wants to see me on TV? No, it's not Reggie Parks. I mentioned his name once before, and I feel so bad because I would see him on shows all the time, and I would shout him out. I shouted him out on YouTube not too long ago. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I can't remember right now. I'll remember. Oh, Eric something. It's Eric something. Not Eric Sims. It's Eric something. I can't remember his last name. I wish one of you out there remembered. It was Eric something. I can't remember the last name. But he was an awesome belt maker. In the early 2000s, he was one of the guys to go to for wrestling titles. He was awesome. Very, very cool guy. I can't remember his last name right now, but it's definitely Eric, and I can't remember. Maybe by the end of the, not Eric Watts, not Eric Watts, but he was one cool guy also. So I know he's still with us, thank God. I do know, I think he was struck with cancer not too long ago, but he's still with us, thank God. Pissed off I can't remember his name right now. Damn. Anyway, out of nowhere, you want to do this contest? Want to do it? Very simply, again, I don't think anybody's going to get his name. It's Eric something. If you go to if you do a Google search for pwbts.com, you type in Eric wrestling belts, you'll probably get his last name. He was such a good belt designer, and he was a really good guy. I mean, he was there also, and Eric Kulas. Creative, but wrong. So now you people are going off the rails with your guesses. So anyway, here's the deal. This week's contest, don't ask me how I even thought of this. I wanted to make it easy. If you followed wrestling in the mid-90s, you should get this. You got to be very, very, you got to think about this because it's not exactly the company you think it is. I'm giving an incredible hint right now. But basically, I'm going to read you 2 hints, and I'm going to play you an audio clip. All you got to do, I'm looking at all these names with Eric. Eric is, people are still trying to get it. I'm so mad. It's such an, it's definitely found on the Google search. I'm so pissed I can't remember the name right now. It's definitely Eric. But anyway, here's the contest. I'm going to read you 2 hints. Very easy hints. And then I'm going to play an audio clip. And I just want you to tell me who this person was. There's 2 different wrestling names. Eric B. and Rakim. Don't sweat the technique. All you got to do is tell me. There's one of 2 wrestling names. Think about it first before you guess. If you think about it, you'll get it. And again, the prize is simple. You could either have this autographed WWF magazine. It is the entire magazine. It is signed by Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, and the late Grandmaster SXA. I will put the chat room back up here. And, damn. That's kind of pissing me off because late at night is when my brain starts to slow down. You know, that's what happens when you don't take MCT oil like late at night or anything like that. But shit. Well, anyway, if you don't want the magazine, how's about $100 Amazon e-gift card? If you live outside the United States and Amazon is not something you normally go to, if you got PayPal, I'll PayPal you $100. Plain and simple. I'm going to give you the 2 clues, and I'm going to play the clip. You got to give me both first and last name of the wrestler. There's 2 different gimmicks. You know, his real name, for the most part, or the gimmick. You get one of those 2 right. Eric Walker, Rocky Red, your choice, any shirt, any Fed. You want the New Jack tribute shirt? I'll send that to you, my friend. Eric Walker, thank you very much. What a really nice guy. I wish this would get to him because, you know, he just was such a wonderful man back then, you know, and I don't mean that in any, you know, sexual way. What an awesome guy, man. I tell you, the 2 things that I will always remember more than anything about XPW at that time was Eric Walker, how just really, really down to earth he was and friendly, and also Jerry Tucci, The Wall. Remember The Wall? And he was, Malice in NWA TNA? Jerry Tucci came in there for a couple of appearances as Snuff. He actually wore like a Snuff outfit. You'd never be able to do this in 2021. But what I always remember from that time period also is that guy, even though he had his demons, that guy, all he would do is sit in the corner and listen to his Walkman CD player, whatever he had. That's all he would do. I don't know if iPods were around at the time. That's all Jerry Tucci, a.k.a. The Wall, would do. He would just hang out, sit, very quiet, very friendly, but very few words. And then he would come out dressed as Snuff, and you'd be like... So anyway, let's do the contest. The chat room is visible. Get your typing fingers ready. This is not that hard. Think about it, and you'll get the answer. The audio hint will do it, but it would be nice if I put the audio clip in here. Hang on. Let me just grab this audio clip. There we go. All right. All right, we got it queued up. So anyway, here's hint number 1. Hint number 1 is, I unfortunately passed away at 58 years old. Narrows it down a little bit. Hint number 2, I was briefly a member of the Nation of Domination. Clip number 3.
the nation of domination.
No, that's not the hint. You'll hear the voice.
Here they come. What I've got to say, when we're out here, you stupid Neanderthals, you show respect to the nation of domination. This ain't the guy in the green tights, because what I'm out here screaming is the nation of domination by any means necessary.
Tell me who that was. Somebody, all right, we'll give it to him. We give it to him. Yes, okay, so he typed the first and last name. All right. Believe it or not, everyone, that was none other than Tracy Smothers. Nico got it right. Tracy Smothers, FBI, full-blooded Italian. He actually, a lot of people don't know that the Nation of Domination was in USWA, and it was set up by PG-13, and they actually can't, this is actual music from there. This is actual music. You just wouldn't hear Nation of Domination.
Everybody say.
And that was Jacqueline. But you know, does anybody know what Tracy Smothers' name was in the Nation of Domination? It was Shaquille Ali. If you look at the members in the Nation of Domination in USWA, they had a fascination with basketball players. I mean, you remember Mo from Men on a Mission? I think he was Sir Mohammed, but they used a lot of basketball names. I think one of them was called Kareem Olajuwon. Somebody actually was called Kareem Olajuwon. Yeah, he was Shaquille Ali. So, Nico, your choice, man. The magazine or the money. That is your choice. So, whichever one you want, he gets it. So, I'm glad. I don't think it was that hard of a question. You know, Nation of Domination, I'm sure a lot of you knew that, you know, it was in the USWA, and then, WWF made their own version. So, let's see what he takes the money. Okay, so the magazine will ride once again. So, Nico, just email me, dontony@dontony.com. Or you could post it in the comment section later on, your contact. I'll take it down and then I'll delete it. 1, 2, 3, whatever you prefer. Either way is good. But, yeah, Tracy Smothers was a member of the Nation of Domination. For real. No BS. You know what? I love that idea, Big T. You guys interested in cameo gifts? Not from me, but like a cameo from like a particular wrestler? Because there's a couple of wrestlers, from Matt Hardy to Foley and a few others, that, you know, I've discussed in the past about giving away, you know, a cameo or two on the show. In fact, Anna, who has been, I think, right from the beginning of my Patreon, I got her a call with Kofi Kingston not too long ago. No BS, no BS. I mean, if she is around, even on the comment section, she will vouch for that. I got her, she had a nice one-on-one Skype with Kofi Kingston. So, you know, maybe we could do that. Yeah, Tracy Smothers died at 58 from lymphoma. And, you know, maybe because I had the memories of XPW earlier, but, you know, I've always said, of all the people I ever met in wrestling, anybody, probably the two that came off the most intelligent to me was Shane Douglas and Tracy Smothers. One thing that I will forever, ever, ever cherish, and I've talked about this 1 trillion times over the years, that one of my earliest memories doing work for XPW is we all went out to eat in Philly, and we were sitting in this restaurant, and the table had about 20 to 25 people at the table. Rob Black paid for everything. And everybody is eating. Right across from me is Tracy Smothers. And I don't remember what question he asked me. He's like, I think he said, like, you're a wrestler? And I'm like, no. I said, I do like some hotline stuff, and I'm doing, a little behind the scenes stuff, trying to promote XPW Northeast. So he's like, what's your day job? And I said, insurance. That was it. That motherfucker loved to talk finance. Anybody that has ever been in wrestling that knew Tracy Smothers personally, they will write, oh, this guy is spot on. That guy loved to talk about insurance and finance. And I think probably about 90% of any conversation I had that day was with him, talking about insurance and finances. I loved it. I loved his team with Chris Hamrick. They called themselves Southern Comfort in XPW, and they were pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Devin, I swear on my mother. I killed that water bug. No joke. That water bug stood on the ceiling in the bathroom. My fiance freaked out and she closed the door. And the door was closed while I was doing the show. So after I was done, I went into the room to wash my hands. I turned the light on and I see on the ceiling the water bug. Had nowhere to go. So I was like, no problem. I grabbed the hose, the vacuum, and I sucked it up with the vacuum, and then I dumped the cup in the toilet and I flushed the toilet. I'm not one of those that could kill a bug with a shoe. I don't care about the guts on the wall, but I just don't have the heart to smash a bug, I swear to God, or a spider or water bug. I got to suck it up with the vacuum and then dump it in the toilet and then flush it. That is 100% true. But I did kill that water bug. So I have to give him the proper acknowledgement. Devin, I did kill that water bug. Wow, your picture from far away kind of looks like, I don't know. Far away, it looks like a rat. I kid you not. That looks like a rat. What school did you go to? What school did you go to? Could I tell the time my neighbor was ignoring me because I was doing podcasts on Monday nights? All right, I'll tell this story. Then we could want to play about a half hour of New Jack. I promise you, you will laugh your ass off. You will definitely laugh your ass off. I trimmed it down from a 2.5 hour podcast to 40 minutes. And it's fun. You know what was cool about that? I'll set this up, and this might convince you to stick around. I did not realize this until I listened to the episode today and was trimming it down. This episode obviously was 14 years ago. It was May 17th, 2007. It just so happened that when we did that episode with New Jack and Axl Rotten, which you're going to hear in a moment, that was the day after Rob Van Dam, Sabu, and Big Vito were released from WWE. Now, I don't know if Big Vito was released the same day as Rob Van Dam and Sabu, but this was right after RVD and Sabu got pulled over on the highway for the pot and other things, and then RVD got dropped the 2 titles, and then he was gone and Sabu was gone. Yeah. So you actually will hear a couple of comments about that on this. So there's a couple of gems in here. This was also filmed right before New Jack did the shoot interview with Iron Sheik and Honky Tonk Man. So, and I will tell you one other thing that you will laugh your ass off. And I got to explain this beforehand, otherwise you wouldn't get it. New Jack in 2007 was making his own company. He was debuting his own promotion. A lot of people don't know that New Jack had his own promotion for a little while. The first show he had Rikishi on there, Madman Pondo, and a few others. So when you hear the joke that I make later on in the show about the Masked Maniac to New Jack, just think about New Jack having his own promotion and you'll understand why I cut the joke. So it's pretty fun, pretty fun. But anyway, very short to the point. Upstairs from me right now is my neighbor. He's got to be now about 75 years old. So, no joke, about 15 years ago, I used to do my shows in my bedroom. This is before I even met my fiance. 15 years ago, when did I start? 2003, 18 years ago. I was doing it in my bedroom. Ultimately, I moved it into this room and, we went to video and the rest is history. But when I used to do my shows in that room, a lot of you may remember when I used to do the Aflac Duck. You remember that video I did not too long ago inside my car? And I did Aflac. Well, I used to do that live on the show at midnight during the shows. So about, 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, I started noticing that my neighbor upstairs would always give me dirty looks. And the one thing that really, really was weird was every time I would be walking to my car to go to work and he'd be walking in the opposite direction, I would always say, good morning. Or I'll say, hey, how's it going? And he would just look at me and keep walking. And when he first would do that, I used to always say, like, you know, is this guy deaf? Maybe he didn't hear me. But I noticed the pattern. And when I first met my fiance, I said, honey, watch this. We walked by. I was like, hey, how's it going? And he just looked at me and just didn't say a word, just kept going. And she's like, what's up his ass? I said, I have no idea. This has been going on for years. So I see my maintenance guy a couple of months later, and I see my neighbor. So I go to the maintenance guy and I said, listen, what's up with him? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, every time I say hello to him or good morning, he never ever like says it back. He doesn't smile. He just looks at me like I killed a member of his family. He's like, I have no idea what the problem is. He says, he's a really nice guy. He doesn't understand. He's like, you want me to find out? I'm like, no. It's just weird, you know, the reaction I get from him. So another 6 months go by. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just ask him. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was one day I was walking to my, I remember it now, one day I was walking to my door and had some groceries in my arms. And I had my keys in my pocket. And he was walking into the house also. So I thought he was going to hold the door for me or, you know, keep the door unlocked. And I know he saw me walk like 2-3 bags in my arms walking towards the door. He walks in and he closes the door right behind me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? So that was enough. So the next time I saw him, I said, listen, can I ask you a question? And he's like, yeah. I said, did I do anything to you? I said, could you seem awfully mad? And he's like, I can't sleep at night. Especially on those Mondays, I can't sleep. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, every Monday, you're right above my bedroom, and I hear screaming and laughing and talking, this and that. And then I realize I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't you say anything? He's like, because it's your apartment. You could do whatever you want with it. He's like, what am I going to say? So I said, you mean to tell me for 10 years, especially on Mondays, that because his bedroom is right above mine, that he just couldn't sleep because I would do the show to 2-3 o'clock in the morning, screaming at the top of my lungs, and he couldn't sleep. So I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. I brought the equipment in this room, and I went back in his room. I said, could you do me a favor? I said, I'm going to blast my show. And that's why I put padding in this. I blasted my show from this room. And I said, do you mind if I come back upstairs? I want to see if you hear it. So I set up this room, put the padding, I cranked it up, I went upstairs and heard nothing. And he's like, fine. He's like, you know, whenever you do your shows, I do it in here. This is up from his living room. So he's like, I'll just go in my bedroom. And I gave him like 10 bottles of wine after that. For like 2-3 years, I gave him wine for Christmas. But for 10 years, this guy kept his mouth shut and just dealt with me every week, yelling, doing the Minority Report, doing the old other shows. And he just stood there and took it. Never filed a complaint, never came to me, never banged on the, maybe once in a while I might have heard a bang. You know, like I never heard him say, shut the fuck up. This guy stood there and took it. Thank you, Nico. As soon as I'm done with the show, I will check it out. So I appreciate you letting me know this way. I know it's yours. But that is true story. So that is one of the reasons why I do it in here. Even when I do Patreon once in a while, because Patreon shows are audio only, we ended up going that route, you know, just keep it consistent. I won't go in that room and do it in there. We were doing game night for a very short period of time with Discord until Discord basically turned heel on me. But I was doing game night, and the first time we did it, it was like 11:30, and it was only about a year ago, and I was in that other room, and then my fiance's like, I think you should go in this room. And then, yeah, so that's true story. So anyway, we are at 1 hour, 50 minutes, which means that if I stream the New Jack stuff right now, we will be done at the 2.5 hour mark, because it's about 40 minutes long. So what I'm going to do, because it's so funny that I enjoy it and I will sit right here and enjoy it with all of you, I am going to stream that audio now. And this is from 2007, almost 15 years ago to the day. And, you know, if you want me to keep playing clips from time to time, just to give you more and more of a side of New Jack that you probably weren't used to hearing. Not only that, you'll see as the episodes go along, you'll hear me interacting more and more and more. And then you got some of those episodes, like I said, when New Jack was dating Terry Reynolds and took pictures of her covered in blood. He wanted to put them online, and he was doing everything possible to convince me to put them online. And I have that episode, and it is the funniest shit. Because Mass Maniac playing the devil, he's like, Anthony, how could you say no? And he's saying this while he's on the show. So it's some funny, funny shit, man. So, and yes, I would greatly appreciate it before I stream it. If you're enjoying the show, smash that like button. I don't know why I disappeared. It's all right. I will be right back. That's better. I don't know why I disappeared for a little while. But yes, I would greatly appreciate if you smash that like button. The more you do that, I know a lot of you do it after the show is over, and I don't realize sometimes a lot of you are on mobile phones, and it's not that easy to just like do that on computers. It's different. And I appreciate some of you out there that enjoy the show on the mobile, and then later on we'll just go on the computer just to smash the like and call it a night. So I thank you for that. So everyone, without further ado, I present to you, and it would only be fair if I do that. Yes. And we got to obviously fix this too. And Edwin G., thank you very much, my friend. You know, I had pizza today. For real, no joke. I had pizza earlier today. Enjoyed the shit out of it too. It was keto pizza, but the sauce and the cheese was real. And I thank you very much for that. Yes, I know school is on there, but thank you, Edwin G. As I always say, thank you for your service. I really appreciate it. And I don't just say that because of your picture. I truly mean that. So let's share some laughs, shall we? Sorry, Edwin, for doing that. But yes, Paul Mooney died. I mean, my God, Richard Pryor growing up, some of the shit that he would write for him, Paul Mooney was good, man. Paul Mooney was classy, too. I mean, he lived to be a pretty ripe age, but I think it was still a little bit tragic. I saw a picture of him recently. He had put on some weight. And if some of you out there don't know who Paul Mooney is, do a YouTube search. Don't even do a Google search. Do a YouTube search. Check out some of his work. Paul Mooney is good people. So here's some New Jack audio, everyone. Much love and joy. I think you'll appreciate it. I think I did a pretty damn good job trimming it down as well. So let me get out of this. Hold on. I got to pull up the audio, so hang on. Audio, here we go. And yes, here we go. We're all ready to go. By the way, again, I hope the audio quality tonight was a lot better, because I spent a little bit of time this afternoon, you know, tweaking it and recording it and playing it back. And I figured out what that stupid echo was that you were all hearing at the very end of the show at the Goodfellas thing. So I fixed that too. But all right, here we go. Enjoy and post your comments, your feedback, if you think it's funny, because your feedback is going to tell me if I do this again, maybe next week.
It's a New Jack and Axl motherfucking tour.
Oh, one last thing. When you hear the very beginning of the Mass Maniac's intro, he used to come out to Bad to the Bone. I had to edit out 98% of that song because I don't want to get hit with copyright flags. So when you hear it cut off, you know why.
And we ain't bringing nothing but blood and guts everywhere we motherfucking go. So if we offend anybody, if you want to see that WWE shit, then you go and watch it. You turn that shit on Monday night. It's bullshit. What you about to see is that I've accepted the fact I ain't going to the motherfucker, and I ain't going to kiss nobody's ass or hold my fucking tongue. Understand something? I'm New Jack, motherfucker. I ain't just known in Richmond or goddamn Atlanta. I'm known all over the motherfucking world. And Axl all over the motherfucking world. So, you know what? Can't nobody take shit from me. I don't give a fuck if I quit the business today. It wouldn't fucking matter. So, and just, Frank, think about it. You got us booked on your show. Where we all on the card, I ain't going to say what match. I'll say what time. I'm hoping it's before 4 a.m. in the morning where everybody ain't sleep. But except it is what it is. We gonna
I wish the airline tickets were non-refundable.
You know what I mean? Turn that thing on.
Yeah,
somebody say something, goddamn! I'm on the radio.
Look at all these fucking guys, you know, and it's funny you watch it and you see, like, I mean, I'm gonna bring up a perfect example, and I don't give a fuck if he gets mad about it or not. Is that motherfucking Balls Mahoney, you know, Mr. fucking, you know, I mean, he thinks he's Mr. Hardcore Extreme. That motherfucker looks like a fucking clown. They make him look like an asshole on that TV show, and that motherfucker.
Let me clarify what he's talking about. There was some legit animosity at that time. Axl Rotten and Balls Mahoney had a little bit of a falling out. I have a different episode where we talk to Axl Rotten and he reveals why. And we have an episode with Balls Mahoney where he gives his side as well. But when they talk about Balls Mahoney being on the show, this is when Balls Mahoney was still in the WWE. So just to clarify that.
Because, you know, coming out here trying to be all cool and hardcore, and he's Mr. This and that. He
don't even want to speak to nobody. He walk by a motherfucker like he don't even know him. Man, don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. That's called playing the game. Actually, you know that. That day, he done bent over, took up the ass over the time. He's just glad to be getting a check with Vince's name on the motherfucker. Fuck that bullshit, man.
Anthony, I got a lot of stuff to spill out here.
I'm getting to that.
Here's my thing.
I have tried to stay away from that for a very long time now.
If I want to see you, you'll see me.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay? Now give me your input.
By all means, go ahead and do it.
Fucking asshole.
The last thing I'm going to do is open my mouth.
That sucks.
I'm trying to act like a pussy, okay? I don't want to have friction.
That's it.
Here's where the fun begins. Shit on me. I apologize for blowing you.
What's up, New Jack?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, New Jack.
Hey.
How are you?
Who is it?
This is Big Vito.
Did you just get fired?
You gonna burn your bra?
Terminated.
Hold on. Did you just get fired for wearing a dress?
Big Vito was terminated, and also, who else? That Rob Conway?
Who's that?
Sabu was fired, and as of today, what are we hearing, Anthony?
Yeah, Rob Van Dam is gone today.
No.
That's the word going around the proverbial campfire.
Wait. You said Sabu got fired?
Sabu got fired yesterday. Or the day before yesterday.
For what?
Showing up late. Well, one of the excuses was he showed up late and didn't have his gear with him for like the second time in 2 weeks. The other guy.
He tried to substitute some piss for some toilet water.
Yeah, the rumor floating around is something along the lines of him trying to put toilet water instead of his.
And then the dude said, "There ain't no urine. That's too cold." So he said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" Who's been eating in my boy?
And today, Rob Van Dam has been terminated.
Why? Really?
I think it was because I think it was clear that he was not going to re-sign with them, so they figured might as well get rid of him now.
Well, Frank, honestly, They done killed everybody that ECW originally fucking had, but ain't nobody fucking left.
Hey, Maniac, not for nothing.
Yeah.
I don't mean this, but to just think about this for a minute. Who would have ever thought that the two surviving members of the original ECW would be Sandman and Balls Mahoney still employed?
Bro,
I'm still in shock. Balls is alive. That's the shocker.
Dude, Balls is sitting at home now with a bottle of Xanax in his hand, waiting to be fired so he can commit suicide. All right, because
you're joking. Let me tell you, make all the jokes you want, but just remember one thing. I'm going to wind up doing the Balls Mahoney Memorial Show, and you'll be working for free.
You a goddamn lie. I ain't, Frank, first of all, if you ain't letting motherfuckers in for free, you know goddamn well I ain't working for free. That's bullshit because the money going to somebody. You did that old Chris Candido memorial shit, and you charged. And then Tammy showed up talking about, his wife, give me some money. And y'all paid that motherfucker.
And you know what?
I'd be goddamn if I do that bullshit.
And Fatty Stitch got money.
And who?
Fatty Stitch got money from us, right?
I know, and you know what? She didn't recognize that motherfucker was her husband until he was 6 feet in the ground, cold and blue. So fuck that shit. I wouldn't have gave her shit. And all y'all did that old bullshit, and then fuck that shit, man. And as far as the original ECW, New Jack ain't never been in there, and I'm going to tell you why. I wasn't going to get them motherfuckers the satisfaction of taking my name and firing me out the goddamn week and putting my shit on the shelf. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Sandman playing the game, Balls just hanging on by the hair of his motherfucking teeth. So, it's just a matter of time before they fire that motherfucker. Guess what I just got through doing?
Having sex with a white woman.
No, bro. Me and my girl just got through doing the nasty. Hey, and both of us sitting here right now sweaty and out of breath, so fuck you, bitches. Hey, hey, Frank. What? I tried to call Axl, and as usual, he didn't answer his goddamn phone. I talked to him earlier, and me and Axl had talked about the fucking show and what we gonna do. What's the date? The 16th of June?
Yeah.
No, it's actually the 16th. It's the 16th, 17th, and part of the 18th.
Yeah, I forgot. We doing a fucking Frank Goodman wrestling motherfucking marathon. If your match is after number 8, you're guaranteed to go on.
And what's even worse, you have to turn the clocks back an hour that night.
So you're gonna be there for at least 9 hours. That's like going to a job and getting an hour overtime. And you know what? The fucked up part about the shit is, Anthony, Frank think the shit's funny. People be in the audience.
Funny. I feel it's amusing.
People be in the audience falling the fucking asleep, and he be in the back walking around like he just did a shot of speed, like, hey, we ain't got but 9 more matches. And that shit ain't fucking funny. And I'm sitting there, the last time I fucking worked with Frank, he pulled that shit. He said, Jack, your match coming up. I said, what's my match? He said, you number 17. I said, Frank, it's 11:30. If I don't go on there, I'm going back to the motherfucking hotel. So we went on and did our shit and got the fuck on out of there. But Frank, it ain't funny. You think the shit funny. You sitting there with this big shitty ass grin on your face. It ain't motherfucking funny to have motherfuckers up there late, you motherfucker.
You know, what I had was the New York State Athletic Commission sweating like crazy because you were letting kids come in the ring, and they were freaking out.
I know, and then I started cursing, and I wouldn't goddamn cut my promo up under 20 minutes, and the match didn't last by 8, so fuck them. And
actually, hey, you know what? You wrestled a little longer than that.
9.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, me and Axl got a match at your show on the 16th of June. Now, we had talked about the shit early, all right? And we both agreed, Frank, what kind of promo could me and Axl cut that would convince motherfuckers that we gonna do what we do best, all right? We can come on and be like, let me tell you something, brother. When I get you in the ring, brother, I'm going to beat your ass. And wouldn't nobody believe that shit because Vince McMahon has made it a point to destroy fucking ECW. You know what I mean? So cutting a promo in 2007 is like out of the fucking question. Don't nobody believe that scripted ass bullshit. So the only thing that I could really tell you is, for those of you that's been starving for, I guess you would say ECW, which they shouldn't even mention that shit no more, and you ain't seen the shit since 2000, since New Jack left, then we gonna give you what you've been missing for 7 motherfucking years. And that's New Jack and Axl coming to the ring, probably drunk and all fucked up, and get in the ring and beat the shit out of each other, and then Frank will decide who's gonna win. And then we'll take the shit on. And then you probably find us at a local goddamn bar getting drunk and fucked up even more.
Hey, Anthony, why don't you try Axl Rotten's phone number?
You want me to try Axl?
I just called that motherfucker. And he knew I was going to call him. He going to do this old bullshit.
All right, let's try it.
Well, let's try it. Anthony,
all right.
Anthony.
I'm going to put you guys on hold for a second. Don't hang up.
All right.
Let's see if we get Axl Rotten on
Please enjoy this call tone while we connect you.
I still can't get over the music. Hey, what's going on, Axl? I got Maniac and New Jack on a honker.
Okay.
Go ahead, guys.
Big head motherfucker, I just tried to call you.
I know whatever message you left, I couldn't understand what the fuck you said.
Like I can't understand what you saying. Like I can understand what you're saying right now. Okay, now that's funny. Okay, how you doing, Axl?
I'm lovely.
You know, this could be the confrontation of all confrontations.
You this motherfucker. Hey, Frank.
Yes.
Frank.
Yes, New Jack.
Axl the count to 25 by 5.
Axl, can you count to 25 by 5?
I think.
You know, this is like that your show when they pull bad shows off the air.
Hey, if the motherfucker can't count to 25 by 5, imagine what's going to go down goddamn in June on the 16th when me and that motherfucker get off a plane and stumble in your goddamn building drunk as hell and have a match. This is going to be the match, Frank. Okay,
you know what? By listening to Axl's enthusiasm right now,
I know. Hey, Frank. Hey, Axl.
Axl, you got to calm down. We can't have that kind of language on the air.
It's not like anybody's fucking listening anyway.
Oh, that's very nice. Axl must have Fat Tim in the house with him.
The fuck does that have to do with anything?
What? Well, no. Pick on how many people listening to our thing. That's what he does, you know?
Hey, Frank, you ever had a coochie on your knee?
I can't. Have I ever had what?
You ever had a pussy on your kneecap?
A pussy on my kneecap?
Yeah,
No,
you
Jack,
know how you
never
had,
sat. Jack, you've never sat on my knee.
No, sissy lips. Hey, that was good, shorty. Hey, you know how you have water on your knee? Well, right now I got pussy on my knee. My girl I got water and pussy on my knee.
That's very good.
Axl, say something.
Don't call me for bail tomorrow morning.
Axl, say something.
You know, I can't get a fucking word in because of the super intelligent.
You know what was so awesome about it too, sorry for interrupting? He never got mad. And you could joke. That's why I always say, if you were on his good side and you were a friend from, I think, like I said, I think the other day Tommy Dreamer said this. You were a friend of his, you were a friend. If he didn't like you, you were his enemy. And like I said, as the time goes by and I share some other episodes and you hear some of the things, I mean, it's priceless. I don't know many people outside of his personal friends and inner circle in wrestling. I don't know many people that could joke like this with him and never offended, just laughing his ass off. I mean, say what you want about the guy, the controversy and all the horrible stuff that he's been accused of. Do you ever hear someone laugh this much? This much. It's incredible when you think about it.
The mass maniac.
Need I say more?
Hey, goddamn, New Jack. How much fucking? Would you fucking like just drink every bottle of fucking vodka in the state of Virginia or wherever the fuck you are? You drunk motherfucker. Hey, Axl. Yo. Hey, look. Let's for the. I don't want to keep calling it ECW because it ain't even ECW no more. If you can say it in less than 20 words, for the sake of me and you, try to let these motherfuckers know what they in store for goddamn June 16th. Because, see, the last time I was in Florida, I was going to court for stabbing this white boy for real, in Jacksonville. Working for some bullshit-ass federation up there, and all them cocksuckers abandoned me. And I sit in jail for goddamn 3.5 weeks on a $40,000 motherfucking bond. So, and when I got out of that shit, after I promised the bitch I was training, I got the fuck out of fucking Florida, and I ain't been back since.
That's the eBay auction that I got him out of jail.
This is the first time in like 4 years I done been in goddamn Florida. So imagine me and you under the motherfucking influence, under whatever goddamn kind of drug or goddamn liquor or whatever the fuck, what goddamn kind of match we gonna have in goddamn June. You know, the shit they've been missing, they gonna get it. And you know we gonna get it to them. Fuck the finish. Yeah. The finish don't mean shit.
It don't mean shit. The way I look at it is simple and plain. On June 16th, you know, people talking about all this good guy versus bad guy bullshit. It ain't like that. You know, on June 16th, when you hear the name New Jack, you know what you're getting. When you hear the name Axl Rotten, you know what you're getting. We don't have to explain ourselves. We don't have to go out there and cut some quote-unquote heel promo, babyface promo. The fans know when Axl Rotten and New Jack get in the ring, we're going to give them what they paid to see. We're going to give them more. I pity the rest of the boys on the card, to be honest with you, Goodman, because I'll tell you right now, they're going to have to step up their game plan. All these lazy motherfuckers don't want to come to their work. We're going to make them look stupid. We're going to go out there and give them, the people, what they paid to see, and they're going to lose their mind and say, oh, yeah, that's what it was all about. That's how it used to be. That's why those two motherfuckers are nuts. That's why we paid money to see them. We don't have to brag about what we did. All we have to do is let the people know. Go back and look at it. And again, on the 16th, they're going to see the exact same thing because we're bringing it to Florida. And one more time, we're going to give it to them and show them why we bring this shit for real. We bring this shit legit. We fuck shit up, and we don't play around. We fucking hit hard. We bleed hard. We fucking do not fuck around. And on the 16th, I pity them bitches that's going to go out there, walk and talk. Gaga. We're going to bring the house down. Bring the fucking house down.
See that, Frank? I told you I was going to say more than 20 words.
Because he just woke up.
Hey, New Jack.
Look talking bullshit, Frank. You know what, Frank? You like a stick in some doodle. You a shit stirrer. You motherfucker.
Hold it. No, let him say.
No, don't try to tell me short, motherfucker. This is my time.
New Jack. New Jack, put Maniac on your show and put him on match 28.
Yeah. Put that motherfucker on. Let him go home at 6 in the morning. Gotta be the one.
What shit did I talk? What shit did I talk about you?
And you see how sensitive that motherfucker is.
Actually, New Jack, you know what you do? You tell Maniac that I'll Western Union him the money.
Exactly.
And then I won't pick up my phone.
That's all right. Let me tell you, I spent 2 hours at Western Union last night waiting for Rockshaw to send me money.
Wait, who?
Oh, some ticket seller had to send me $400.
You made the comment, I would say something about Axl if anybody cared. You're under the disillusion for some reason.
No. Hold it. I was just fighting back from you saying before that if Jack put me on his show, nobody would care or nobody would come. You said that 10 minutes ago. I was just fighting back from that. So I don't think anybody
Listen, Maniac.
I wouldn't fly you out to Florida.
Yeah, but don't get my big leg, though.
Listen, while you guys fight, I'm going to go watch Kevin Thorne take on Snitsky for the ECW title.
Hold on. I'm going to work with Kevin.
Yeah, he is.
I'm doing fair fighting. When Axl came on,
400 years.
it just sounded to me like Axl had some kind of problem. So I was fighting back.
I'm like, oh, bitch. Yo, motherfucker. You done got all sensitive now. Man, don't stand on the ladder and take a pee-pee.
Axl, why don't you go? Axl, why don't you go meet somebody whose name is Jim? Because God knows you've never been in a gym.
Well, hold on. Now, how you gonna talk about Axl like that? Now, Axl knows somebody named Jim.
Oh, no, Axl, I'm sorry. I meant to say Jack. I apologize on that one. You don't even own a Yellow Pages with a gym listing in it.
Frank, let me tell you something. A Chippendale bar, they never brought New Jack to the motherfucker stage, bro. Never.
That's no shit on that.
Fuck that bullshit. And you know what? While you sitting at home dressing up like New Jack is being New Jack, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, shit,
I gave so much motherfucking weight, I don't give a fuck, Frank. But you know what? I can lay in the ring and take some baby oil and rub my nuts, and motherfuckers are still chanting New Jack. To the beat.
Yeah, that's what I do. I sit around my house, Princess New Jack, watching Good Times. That's what I do.
You damn right. And you know what? These motherfuckers in Florida, my true motherfucking fans, gonna be at this goddamn show. And then, Frank, so you can shut the fuck up. Somebody said Devon and Bubba got a gym down there. I'm gonna go to their gym and do a sit-up. I'm gonna do a sit-up at Devon gym and a push-up at Bubba gym and go the fuck home. You know what I mean?
I somehow
ain't
doubt
fuck about you. Hey, Frank, just because you got big old arms, you still ain't but 4'11", you motherfucker. Hello?
I'm 5'8". And I
hey, Frank, you
always laughing.
Fuck, bro. I ain't gonna start today, goddamn.
All I need to hear next is New Jack took his mail order course and became a personal trainer. That's next.
New Jack did what?
Forget it. What would you know? You don't even understand what I'm talking about.
Well, if you say the shit and don't say it in these monitors, I might know. But, Frank, you know what? I keep telling you. I'm sorry, Maniac. I keep telling you, all that old going to the gym shit, that ain't never got New Jack nothing. That ain't never got New Jack nothing. You know that Maniac with the big old arms. You know that.
Maybe
that's why
if you went to the gym,
and we can openly admit it, you motherfucker. We can come to your show drunk. We can come to your show drugged up. Me and Axl can go to a motherfucking house on the list and you shut up.
I could never imagine you coming to my show drunk.
Me and Axl can goddamn go to a motherfucking hood and be in the motherfucking house with the windows boarded up and smoke coming out the windows, in there smoking the sticky or the icky.
And I get that
coming to your show and still turn that motherfucker out. And you couldn't say shit. And you can come to the ring and I'll shut the fuck up. Somebody email New Jack at New Jack Uncut 187 and tell him what up. Right now.
Frank. Me and Axl were in the house and it was smoke and it was drugs. You gotta come. You gotta bail me out. That's the phone call I get.
Well, you damn right. You supposed to do it because you the motherfucking promoter. God damn it, you and Anthony, you and Anthony.
White guy, that's right.
Hey, we are the misfit cheering, and it's you and Anthony's responsibility to make sure that we show up. So, don't nobody want to hear that shit, Axl.
Yeah, you know.
I'm like a motherfucking get-on-ass baby with a shitty diaper. I ain't gonna never change.
No, it's worked this long. Why should we change the formula? Fuck it, you know?
Ain't nobody studying that bullshit, old motherfucking maniac, you motherfucking militant midget.
Sesame
Street. What? Let me tell you something, bro.
Tell me, bro.
Regardless of this bullshit or motherfucking mass maniac or whatever the fuck it is that you saying, it don't mean nothing. Remember one thing. It was your idea to put me and Axl together on a fucking show at the same time in the motherfucking ring. All right? So expect the fucking unexpected. And don't get mad and all that bullshit when we go out there and turn that motherfucker upside down. I don't even want to hear your goddamn mouth. All right? And for them motherfuckers in the back, if you don't put us last, you gon' regret it. Because the only thing me and Axl gonna do when that motherfucking match is over with is leave a motherfucking map in the ring to show these motherfuckers how to follow us because they can't do it. I don't give a fuck about none of these motherfuckers in this business, fans or workers, you understand? For the simple fact, the motherfuckers ain't never tried to. The only reason they talking to me about that WWE shit, and I wouldn't motherfucking do it for the record, was because they wanted rights to my motherfucking name, and I refused to give it to them. I know I'm gonna get fired. I went up there and did this thing, and then they goddamn started fucking pointing the finger at him, so he got the fuck on. But regardless, there's two things you can't take from me, and you can't take from him, is what we done in this motherfucking business. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And, bro, I can bend over and touch my motherfucking goddamn feet, and you ain't gonna find no grief, because New Jack ain't took nothing up the ass like these other motherfuckers in this business, and now they fired with no goddamn name, and they sitting at home now looking motherfucking stupid. I don't give a flying fuck. Ask me to get my tattoo removed so you can own me. Bitch, slavery days was over a long motherfucking time ago. And I don't give a fuck what you say and who you say it to. I'm not putting over no motherfucking greenhorn. When we come to Florida, we going to do what we do fucking best, and then we going to go to the airport and get the fuck out. And then we'll see you next time. In the meantime, enjoy the show and shut the fuck up. And if I ever see anybody out there, go fuck your mama.
Amen.
Hold on. I got to say one thing.
See, and for you know, funny part, Anthony is sitting back cracking the fuck up because finally, when you got your motherfucking little radio, motherfucking internet shit, you always out-talk everybody. But Frank, you can't do that with me and Axl. Man, I don't give a motherfucker how mad you get and start pounding and jump up on the motherfucking thing and try to punch somebody in the face. I don't care about how mad you get about this shit. It don't matter. When you start calling motherfuckers out like you did, Axl, trying to put him on the spot, you know you dead ass wrong.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I didn't try to put him on the spot, and he knows it. He knows it.
Hey, Frank.
Let me tell you something. I've dealt with Axl's shit for years, and he dealt with my shit for years.
Hey, Frank, let me ask you a question. Frank, let me ask you a question. What do you call a woman that can lick your nut and your butthole at the same time?
What?
Whatever she want to be called. You call her baby. You call her baby. Yeah, baby, ain't it? Fuck you. Don't be trying to get mad. Andy, shut up. Don't be trying to get mad, maniac.
How am I getting mad? I asked you if your phone card ran out. Why would I get mad? Because you're talking about sex. I mean, I'm not mad.
Right now, I'm on Sprint. It's free after 7, Richard. It don't matter. I can talk all night long. If you hit me at motherfucking 701, I'm hanging up.
Can I just say something also? This original episode was 2.5 hours. You see the podcast that you get today, and you see people interviewing people, and they get like interview of the year, podcast of the year. You mean to tell me for 2.5 hours of this, and you get little legit, serious little things. A lot of people don't know that Vince wanted New Jack to actually have some of his tattoos removed. A lot of little things that you may not pick up the first time around. But, you know, when we did this every single week, nobody would give us any play. Nobody would show any love. And that's why I can't tell you how pleased I am and how grateful I am that I saved all this stuff. Maybe in 2007 it didn't get the attention it should have. Now you get to enjoy it. It's like bottling a bottle of wine, and then 10, 15 years later, you get to take it out and you get to enjoy it. So enjoy the final few minutes.
And this shit ain't gonna be like one of your motherfucking shows. We ain't talking all goddamn night. The point has been made. We's done what we's gonna do. Damn it.
All right, that sounds
Hello?
good.
Somebody say something. Come on in. To tag with Franco, he done got lost.
What?
Hello?
How you doing?
Hey, brother. Hey, actually, let's do one on promo.
What, my brother? Promo, brother?
right, let me tell you something, brother. On June the 16th, brother, I'm going to put you in a headlock hey, on June 16th, brother, I'm going to put you in a headlock and stick my finger in your nose and I'm going to pull your eyebrows, brother.
Yeah, I'll one of those generic wrestler promos. Let me tell you something, brother. On June 16th, see, when I come to Florida, brother, I'm going to get New Jack, and I'm going to put him in a headlock, dude, and I'm going to put him on the mat and put him in an atomic knee drop, brother. Baby, you motherfucker.
Hey, friend, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why are you riding on other motherfuckers' dick?
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, New Jack.
I mean, you know.
No.
Hey,
Give me a chance. Give me a chance to respond. Let me respond. Hey, Jack.
From one grown man to another. From one grown man to another.
That's fine.
What would make you say that another man can whoop my motherfucking ass? Frank, you couldn't beat my ass if I laid down and tooted up, motherfucker. You couldn't do. I wouldn't give a fuck, Frank. I'd beat you beyond recognition. Your kids wouldn't even be calling you that. They'd be calling you home.
If you didn't have weapons, I would rip your fucking scrawny arms out of the socket and beat you with them. The only problem is I'd have to deal with you coming back and doing something bad with a weapon.
Wait a minute. What'd you say about my baloney? You said you would do what to my baloney? Hey, you can talk about my mama. Don't you ever in your life talk about my baloney again.
Remember, New Jack, he Googles you.
Motherfucker. Now, I don't mind you talking about my mom, but next time you talk about my baloney, bro, I got to come through the phone.
Remember, New Jack. Remember, New Jack, he Googles you.
Hey.
About my baloney again.
I want my
daddy's record. Fuck about what you say.
I want my daddy's record.
I want Brian Melacheri. Talk about my goddamn baloney again. I'll kill your motherfucking ass, motherfucker.
I want
about my baloney.
I want my good googly goo.
Yeah, Maniac, have you Googled anybody else lately?
Like who?
I want my daddy's record. I want my daddy's record.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
I ain't tell you about it. I'm a ventriloquist. I want you to hear something. Now, everybody be quiet on the count of 3. Be quiet. All right.
Frank, eat a pussy.
And the next time you talk about my baloney pussy head, it's on.
Yeah, but you didn't count to 3.
Huh?
I was waiting for you to count to 3.
Oh, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the New Jack, Axl Rotten, Anthony, Maniac, Frank Hour.
This is pretty bad. And I think none of us can come up with anything better to do tonight.
Hey, Frank.
Yes.
When we come down there, I probably should ask you to do this off the phone, but I'm gonna ask you to do it on the phone because I know the motherfucker that I'm talking about ain't listening to it.
Go on.
I need to get all the money from the front door and take a picture with it and send it to somebody. I promise me and Axl ain't gonna rob you.
That's wrong to talk about that on the show. That's wrong. That's wrong. Talk about my private money. That's wrong. It's wrong.
Oh, fuck you, you little bitty militant motherfucking midget,
like
you big waterhead, you thick neck motherfucker.
Like I would fucking let you near the money.
You know what,
like
you motherfucking Hulk Hogan wannabe, you big arm, short neck, little cocksucker.
I would really let you near the gate money. That's right. That's right. I wouldn't even let you near my credit card.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I feel nervous just Western Unioning you money. I figure you might find
give it in the car. But hey, now you stop saying that.
What?
Don't forget tomorrow Friday.
Oh, fuck. Listen. It's not Friday in Florida time.
Thank you, King.
Hey! Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Frank. Me and Axl need an advance. Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck. You know what? This motherfucker sitting home right there talking about, yeah, that's right. My motherfucker coming to motherfucking Florida, goddamn. That's right. Or I take that back. My 2 motherfuckers. You understand? I don't give a flying fuck. Who else on the card, Frank? Exactly. So
I didn't hear or understand anything you said.
I don't give a fuck, and it did. Goddamn it, he did actually
translate what he said.
I understood.
I can't translate that.
Because you didn't understand the meaning.
I understood completely.
And my living room painted pink, huh?
It probably is.
I don't give a fuck for you. Hey, jump up and down and make your nuts play click clack.
Listen, we're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel right now. Hey, does anybody want to plug anything?
Hell no. I'm going to plug my website, newjackhardcore.com. If you got any pictures or any bitches doing some nasty shit, send them to me and I'll post them, motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck who it is. I got this old nasty bitch. I ain't going to call her last name. I'll call her first name, Kathy. We just going to call her Kathy.
Is that the one in Florida?
Hold on, friend. Let me get this out. You said plug. You just made me think about it. This bitch works for this company down in motherfucking Tampa. And this bitch was a straight motherfucking mark. And she used to take the boys out and spend money and give them the credit card and all kind of shit. And I posted that nasty motherfucker because she emailed me with some dumb shit. And I just put her first name on my website. This hoe called the motherfucking police on me, Frank. And they actually called me from Tampa. Talking about take it down. I said, it ain't no crime to put a motherfucker first name. I said, the only motherfucker know who I'm talking about is her and her goddamn friends that know she was a motherfucking rat. And the motherfucker is obsessed with Mickey Mouse. She 50 years old and she got Mickey Mouse, but she got more motherfucking statues of Mickey Mouse in her house than goddamn Disney World. You know what I mean? And the bitch goddamn gonna get mad at me and afraid the motherfucking Tampa police called me. And then once I was like, bruh, do you know how many cats it is in Tampa? I said, yo, you can't tell me that's a motherfucking crime. And I'm going to put her picture up on my website real soon. I've been just waiting because I found one. And I'm going to put somebody email it to me. I'm going to put that bitch up. And it's going to go up right before your goddamn
thank you for telling that story for the 5th time. Thank you, Jack, for boring me with that story for the 5th fucking time.
Frank, it ain't like me and you on a motherfucking person-to-person call, motherfucker. I ain't just talking to you. I'm talking to my fan, too. I ain't my fault. Frank, the only fan you got is you when you looking in the mirror, bitch. Don't get mad at me.
Come on, Max, so what about you? You got any shows coming up? Oh, what'd she say? What'd she say? I didn't hear it. I go, hold on, I got to get my pants down. Tell her to say it again.
Yes, her titty nipples is hard. Show your titties.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Hey, Frank, you want to listen to us do it?
I'm all ready.
Hey, baby. Hey, bro, let me tell you something. I can't say New Jack back because I ain't never went nowhere. I can sit back and watch wrestling self-destruct, and it still don't mean shit to me. Understand something, Frank? I don't give a fuck about this fucking business. This business pays my bills. If I say anything to offend any motherfucker, whether you in the ring or whether you on the other side of the motherfucking rail, who gives a fuck? I don't care. I never have and I never motherfucking will. Shut the fuck up. I'm about to hang up on you, you little bastard. Man, what'd you say?
Where's the girl? You said she was going to say something again.
She's in the bathroom.
All right.
In the bathroom. And you still there?
Yeah. Number 1 and number 2.
God damn it. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
We have plugged this motherfucking show. We can't put it over no more, Frank.
Hey, I've been listening. I've been praying for you to hang up.
I refuse to talk to you all night long because I'm going to call you in the morning about 10.
Yeah, I'll be gone. I'm leaving the country till the 15th.
No, you ain't either, you motherfucker.
Oh, really. And I got to tell you, they have no Western unions or anything like that in other countries.
They better have one before you leave.
I don't think so. I have to make an important phone
We're
call.
going to do another motherfucking thing, Frank, in about 2 weeks because my show on July 21st coming up. And my shit is major shit, Frank. I got some major
who is on
my
this major
shit, Frank.
shit show?
Goddamn. Don't be there, Frank. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say. You can talk all that old shit, and because Axl and me been doing some whatever the fuck we doing,
I didn't say
and you
anything.
can't understand it.
I asked who was on your fucking show.
I told you, Two Clone Scorpio is on it. Steve-O, Malik, Phil Brown, goddamn, Sage, New Jack, Axl, and other names, Chris Hamrick, maybe Man Pondo. You understand?
All right, we lost Axl.
Are we having technical difficulties?
Yeah, we did. I think Axl got disconnected.
No, I think Axl probably just hung up.
I think so, too.
You know what? Hour.
Hey, I think Axl was bullshit. You know how you start talking, acting like the phone fading in and out?
Oh, I think so, too. Okay, Jack, Monday morning. Call me back tomorrow.
I know, like New Jack.
Hello? Jack? No. Can't hear you. Sorry. Try me back Monday.
Hey, Frank.
I can't hear you. My phone's going dead.
Don't you try that bullshit. No.
What?
Uh-oh. Get my leg back.
Anthony, I think New Jack hung up.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Y'all know what you want to be. One in
All
there a
right,
little
Jack,
bit.
what's your dilemma, Jack? What's your dilemma?
What's my diploma from high school?
No, dilemma. You know, fucking English dilemma.
I got my diploma from high school. I don't give a fuck what you say I did. Huh?
Oh, boy.
I think we're pretty much done.
I didn't say anything about your mama's number. Oh, God. Listen, Jack.
I know. Hey.
Yeah, please go.
The motherfucking midget that walk in with high heels on, butt naked, they get in free.
What the fuck are you laughing at?
Hold on. The first midget that walk in butt naked with a pump and a golf shoe, they get front row. So look.
Hey, Jack.
I'm like this. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Yeah, all right, listen, Harvey Korman, we'll see you later.
Just to have a laugh or sing a song. So you just get started, and then New Jack farted. I'm so glad that you could play with my ding dong.
Oh my God, that went so fast. Wow. Oh man. I told you. I'm not one of those that hypes things up unless I truly believe it deserves the hype. This stuff I have is incredible. I mean, legit. You don't hear anybody doing podcasts with anybody. And yes, the language is very, very harsh. Yes, advertisers will not want to advertise tonight's episode. But for such an evil person, as people say, he fucking laughed more than anybody that I have ever known. It's just, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Loved, talking to him. And, I thought last Friday, telling a couple of personal stories, I first met him and everything from 96 to to a couple of years ago. He was legitimately the different person that everybody portrayed him, except for the time that he thought that he and I were having a match against each other. That was the only time that I legit got really concerned. And then once the air was cleared and he simply went, my bad. It was just, my God. I hope you all enjoyed this. And like I said, I have other episodes. Some of them are funnier than this. I thought because he just passed and because so many people, Paul Heyman's tribute really got to me. Because Paul Heyman over the years, you don't see him getting too emotional very often. He got very emotional about the passing of New Jack. And, I will just say this in closing because I'm going to get out of here. But I will tell you this. If we could have this much fun with this guy, and then I would go to indie wrestling shows and I would see him, yo, Anthony, come here. And, to just, I always looked at the wrestlers like just regular people, like everyone else. And I think a lot of people in wrestling just want to be treated like regular people. That's why I said yesterday that, I think I might even said it tonight too. Some wrestlers, they get a little creeped out of some of the gushy stuff that goes on online. But like I said, if we could have this much fun with this guy, could you imagine the relationship he had with his friends in wrestling, the people that he was very, very close with? When you see a lot of people legitimately very, very crushed about his passing, I know on the surface for a lot of you out there, you're like, mass transit? Some of the things this guy does? The end of Dark Side of the Ring about the cocaine stuff, how could you celebrate that? You kind of get your answers by hearing this. So I thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was a lot of fun. And, post your feedback in the comment section. Be honest. If you didn't like it, if you don't think we should go there again, post it. You're not going to get ripped apart by anyone. I will not allow it. But send your feedback. The more feedback you post, the better feel I get as far as what we do in the future. If you want me to play more next Thursday, I will be more than happy to. Maybe we don't go 40 minutes like tonight. Maybe we just post a clip here and there, 10-minute shot here and there. But some of the stuff, you haven't even heard him ask me, because there was a point where he and I just did a show together. Maniac had a problem with his phone, and he and I just did an episode together. And he's defining to me what an asshole is. And he's talking, and Mish actually made an intro from that clip about it's just a crinkly hole. It's, my God, I love this stuff. And, it's a shame. Like I said, the stuff that I did a little bit in wrestling, albeit bad, having the fun that I had, talking to people and becoming friendly with people. And, the more I put this out there, the more I realized that there's a decent number of people out there that never wanted this stuff public. They just wanted, Don Tony, the hotline guy that did podcasts too, not all the other stuff. And I have hard drives and hard drives of gems. And it's not just him. There's some hilarious stuff with Too Cold Scorpio, with Norman Smiley. That one is wild. I don't want to reveal anything, but one of those episodes, they tell a story that some wrestler in WCW's child is not really theirs. And it's a crazy story. But I will definitely start breaking these out a little bit more often. And I think we all need to laugh a little bit more. This was fun. And just watching all of you laugh your ass off. Yes, the language is a little bit over the top, but you just imagine how we felt back in the day. This was a pleasure. And I absolutely love that you got to enjoy it with me, because without that, it just sits in the hard drive for more and more time. And who knows, if there was never interest, maybe I would have just threw the hard drives out. What am I going to play them again for? I kept a lot of this stuff. There's some episodes that I'm missing that I'm on the hunt for that, eventually some will turn up. But I have enough to last another year. So we got good stuff coming. But anyway, I'm going to jet out of here. Before you go, as I always ask, if you enjoyed today's show, I'd appreciate it if you smash that like button. I definitely would love to give a shout out to La Nostra Familia. These are the creme de la creme. And, I hate having to separate channel members, but La Nostra Familia is a very special group of people. On the top of our very special channel members. The Q&A for this week is posted, so you can post your questions away. I will answer them throughout the weekend. If you ever want to become a channel member, if you see others using the emojis like DT and other stuff, you get that as far as being a channel member. And then we put other stuff on there. And a lot of you have been asking me to post these episodes in their entirety. Maybe I will do that. We'll see. But, I appreciate the love as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, less than 24 hours, I'm going to be right back here once again. And I'm not going to forget, in the community section, I will post a poll tomorrow. We'll let that poll run for a couple of days, how we should handle next Friday. Since AEW is not airing next Wednesday, I don't know what we're going to do about Wednesday. My early thought was I come here on YouTube Tuesday night and we do an NXT recap because there are some important matches going down. And then Wednesday next week, I do our usual Patreon show. We'll flip-flop the days on that. That kind of takes care of NXT and Patreon. Next Friday, though, we obviously have to figure that out, and we'll go from here. So, Sam, I may end up just taking next Wednesday off, but I do want to cover NXT. I don't know if I want to wait till Friday to do that. We'll see. We'll see. I will obviously poll all of you out there, and I'll get the vibe. And if the vibe is, take the day off, I'll take the day off. So I don't mind taking days off once in a while. So everyone, it's been real. Much love as always. Have a great night. And I know I tried to do this yesterday as an exit.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster.
I don't know. For some reason, the gods are not allowing me to do this the way I want to. Wanted to exit yesterday with the video, and there was some audio problems. So let's try it again. Everyone, good night. Soulfly Bamore, thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Much love. It would definitely be disrespectful if I didn't give my friend a nice shout out. Thank you. But yes, yesterday I tried to do it. I failed miserably. I fixed the audio. I fixed the video. So I'm going to go out tonight with a video that's was not intended to be an outro, but hey, a little Goodfellas and a little tribute to my dog who's no longer he's inside on I have a nice display. I'll show you a picture one day. So good night, everybody. Much love.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the hosts. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with pals. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.